A starving radio personality. I need TV work. Call me. This number right here, okay? Let's check out some videotape.
What in the world? What the hell is this?
Digital CCD, waterproofed, pinhole lens.
Spy camera.
Taking some very candid photos.
Video, actually.
Which one of them is a pervert?
Guy who downloaded the most crap.
Right. Mark in St. Louis, hello.
What's up, boys? How's it going?
Hey, how are you?
Fabulously.
Good. Hey, I noticed, I don't know if you guys can even say anything, but I noticed Opie's replay was gone, and if you look at any of the lineup, he's nowhere to be mentioned. Is he gone now?
Well, I typically don't check the Sirius website. It's not the most exciting place.
I got tweets, though,
no, I'm talking about on the replay. I looked back on the replay to see. Okay.
Yeah, I was driving in this morning, and I was surprised to hear Dr. Steve was the new morning man. I would assume that something is awry with the channel when Dr. Steve is the morning man.
Yeah.
No offense to the good doctor, by the way. I love him with all my heart, but I just never I didn't picture him jumping into that shift.
Especially not as a replay. That was not a live Dr. Steve. We didn't anticipate a Dr. Steve replay right before us. So, I would say it doesn't look good.
Hey, Troy just looked at the Sirius XM website. Apparently, we're on this afternoon.
You guys got to come back at 3.
Yeah, I did see that last night.
I got things to do.
What's that?
Grab lunch and then come back for the afternoon?
What do you have to do?
Well, I was surprised to hear on my morning drive a guy talking about rolling his balls. I didn't think that was going to be the number one. The number one thing on a morning show.
Same thing after 8.
It's a new Sirius.
Yeah. So thank you very much.
Well, there's definitely. Thanks a lot.
Thanks, pal. Yeah, there's definitely changes. Obviously, I mean, I was getting tweets about it last night. People are asking, and the full details I don't know.
I don't really know
what we're allowed to say, and I have to say that because it's like you feel like a pussy, not just.
Yeah. There's stuff going.
The fans are not stupid. You guys are not stupid.
There's very clearly stuff going on.
This is kind of funny.
What?
Well, just you go to hosts. It's Jim on top. Okay. And then Steve Covino. Then Eric Nagel. Then Roland.
Who's Sam Roberts?
No Sam. No Ellis.
Hang on. Just keep scrolling.
Right, look, Steve Covino's there twice.
Covino on
Steve
twice.
Covino?
Oh, good for him.
Maybe he's the new Opie. Keep scrolling down. Rich Davis, Christians. What the? Why am I not on the website?
How is Sam not on that?
At the bottom.
He is a bottom. That's accurate.
Who's the guy at the bottom?
It looks like Erock.
That's Covino Rich's producer.
I should be on there.
He got the exactly.
Yeah, me too.
All right, I'm going to talk to Don.
How is Sam not on the host thing, right under the obvious top one?
Honestly, I would be upset if I were you, Jim, because I feel like the fact that Ellis and me are both not on there are very egregious. Like if it were you, me, and Ellis not on there, and Nick, you, me, Ellis, and Nick, then you just kind of got Jamokes on there, and you're like, oh, it must be just mislabeled. But they put you on there.
Well, yeah, it looks like someone handed in their bio.
Yeah, that's a good point. Why would I be upset about that? I think that they've done some fine web work. I mean, it is silly you're not on there.
Oh, my God.
I love Covino's on there twice.
The website says you were on Spider-Man.
Yes.
I guess, but who would have thought that in 2017 you'd still be rocking that credit?
Can we see my bio?
There's been 3 Spider-Men since then.
There's one coming out this weekend.
Oh, my God. Look what they took my own. That's a very old bio I used to use for comedy clubs. Can you read that?
Yeah, Troy, can you tell us a little more about this Jim Norton character?
A comedian, radio personality, author, and actor. Jim's been on The Tonight Show with Jay Leno, The Late Show with David Letterman.
Oh, canceled show after canceled show.
Several HBO specials. And had cameos.
Just two?
In film Spider-Man, Zack and Miri Make a Porno, and more.
Oh
He's
my
5'7",
God.
150 pounds, and has the muscle tone of Christopher Reeve's thighs.
Okay, that's funny.
But that was an old comment. That's years ago. They got to change that.
It sounds like it's years ago because that would mean you haven't done anything since 2006.
And it also means that Christopher Reeve's still alive. Do you know how old that is?
Or you have really bad muscle tone.
That's also true. That part has not changed.
That's a terrible bio.
Yeah, it is. But again, for comedy clubs, it was a fucking... That's an abridged version.
No, that's an okay bio that you would send to comedy clubs back then.
No, this is terrible.
Yeah, if you sent that to comedy clubs today, I'd be like, who did I book? This guy doesn't do anything anymore.
The web team moved very quickly with certain things, but with this one, they are a little lagging behind. The hosts list is really terrible.
Yeah, you need a new bio.
Are you doing a show with Cavino?
That's what it looks like. Norton Cavino.
Jim and Cavino.
I never knew his name was Steve, by the way.
And then Eric and Roland.
I thought it was Cavino.
I did too.
His first name?
Yeah.
Cavino Johnson.
Jim, you gotta update that bio.
Should have named my kid Cavino. Cavino Roberts.
Well, I didn't realize that they had an old...
They don't even have, like,
Who gives a
throws
fuck
good
about-
parties in your bio.
What's that?
They don't even have about how good you are at throwing parties.
That is true.
That should be in your bio.
Who cares about Jim updating his bio when Cavino has me beat 2-0 on the bio column?
And
on
they
this
put
website.
Nick on. It's probably someone who doesn't like you.
It probably is. If they put Cavino and Rich's producer on there, not me.
He doesn't.
Spot
doesn't have a show.
He
does
doesn't even have a show. At least Eric and Roland have like shows. Like,
Sure.
Yeah, I'm writing my bio right now.
You don't get.
Oh no! Look, producers get on there.
You should put your bio, Travis.
I'm going to.
You're a critical part of this machine.
So everybody here writes their own bios. So look what Spot says. Spot is the production genius
that's
behind
dope.
Cavino and Rich Show.
Okay, that's it. Let me write down my. Okay, Sam Roberts is the true genius behind Jim Norton and Sam Roberts.
Yep.
Okay, can I write that? I mean, my
I'd
bio.
prefer if you didn't phrase it like that. Yeah, in your bio you can.
Yeah. Sam Roberts carries Jim Norton through mornings 5 days a week.
Your bio should contradict each other.
Yeah. We should just write new bios that take shots at each other.
Yeah.
Awesome.
Yeah, Jim is the real strong point. Sam, you can say, Sam, the main draw in the morning.
Just real passive aggressive.
Let's just see if people notice. Let's see if they notice and they...
Forced to team up with Sam Roberts.
Yeah. After many successful shows, Jim Norton has been forced to team up with Sam Roberts in the mornings.
Look at shows. It doesn't even mention Jason Ellis.
That's crazy.
What is wrong with this website?
Wait a minute. Is this real?
This is SiriusXM.com.
Yeah,
No. Not that. Sorry, not that. I mean the phone.
You know, because I know a lot of people are wondering about it. We will have answers to what's going on this channel
Of course.
confirmed today. It's got to be. I mean, everybody's noticed all the changes that have happened. We just don't know for sure what or who's going to announce what.
Yeah, and it's not, believe me, it's not that we don't want to or that we,
Yeah.
But when certain people tell you certain things...
Especially right after they do certain things to certain people, you listen to them.
Yeah.
Does that make sense?
Yeah, when you get phone calls, let's just say this. When you get phone calls and you see a name pop up on your caller ID, and you're like, oh no, this is never a good call.
Right.
The last time I got a call with this name on the caller ID was around the 4th of July in 2014.
Right.
That was the last time I got that call.
And there was nothing we could do about it.
No, there was nothing. But a lot of people's speculation is, I'm sure, correct.
Yeah.
But hold on, quick from in Boston. Yes, hello?
Hey, I was wondering when you guys are going to get Vic Henley in. Is that possible?
I like Vic, man. I brought Vic to the radio show. Like, I think Vic is very funny, so I would have Vic on the show. I mean,
Yeah. You have to talk to Vic about it if he wants to.
We're not paying people to come in, but he is a funny guy. I think a lot of people, they might have got on Vic, but I like Vic and I like Sherrod. I like those guys very much.
Yeah.
I think Vic's funny. I do. I listen to both shows, so I'm like impartial. But I have to say, I grew up in Boston. So, I mean, Jimmy, I saw you in 99 or whatever in Avalon in Boston.
Oh, wow.
You call me a Catholic schoolboy. So I still remember this shit. But I think this Opie bullshit, you were 100% in the right. And I hear your subtle jabs, too, that you give to him. And I think the listeners that really, really, truly listen get it. And I think now, hey, now it's payback, man. Not even payback.
Yeah, I don't feel that way. Like, I know what you're saying, and he and I really don't have a relationship. But if a guy is gone, I'm not reveling in the fact that somebody who got me my radio job might be out. Like, as much as we've had bad blood, I don't revel in that. I really don't. I don't feel great that, hey, man, it's like our history is very weird, and it's been amazing at times. It was great a lot longer than it wasn't. But, I wouldn't be in this seat, and I'm not being magnanimous. It's the truth. I wouldn't be in the seat had he not decided to hire me, and neither would Sam.
Yeah, and I kind of stand by everything that I said on Friday, which is you don't want to see anything seriously bad happen to people who helped you out along the way. And there have been times when Opie was very supportive, and there have been times when Opie was
a dick. I mean, that's the way it is for all of us.
He stopped being supportive.
Yeah.
But you don't revel in somebody's misfortunes, because generally speaking, what goes around comes around.
Yeah, and it doesn't. Sorry.
Oh no, I'm sorry. No, and that's like not even like the people like who are real listeners, like who legitimately listen to you guys and aren't like some fucking troll, who have listened to you for years. You know what I mean? Like, I don't call up all the time. I mean,
Right.
You guys don't even know me. You know what I mean? Like, I listen to the show because I like it. I get it. And to hear what he did, like, you guys throw kind of subtle jabs at him a little, and then he throws them back at you pretty fucking hard.
I don't feel like he hit. I don't think he was out of line hitting. All right, thank you very much. We appreciate you listening, man. Thanks so much for the call. Appreciate it. I didn't think like he did take shots, and so did we. But I didn't think that he was. Whoa, he's going too hard. You know what I mean? I didn't feel that way. It's just we were just kind of snipping at each other. But if he's got to find new employment, if that's what's what they've make this, I don't feel like a victory. I didn't have any investment in Opie not working. You know what I mean? I have no investment in him, his life not being okay.
Yeah, if it were my choice, I'd say, of course, leave him on the channel, let him do his show.
Yeah,
you know what I mean.
If he's gone for good, it's a shame because he was enjoying that show.
Yes, I agree.
And he liked doing that show, and it was obvious that he enjoyed doing that show. And it's the extracurricular shit, how you say it?
That's it.
That gets you a lot of times, and it's always, and I guess I've been so paranoid about it for so many years, but it's always the stuff you don't see coming. And you kind of, when things happen, especially off the air, a lot of times you have to immediately identify, like, okay, this is a real problem. This is a serious problem. Like, you have to be able to know, this is bullshit and I can blow through this, and then, well, this is a tremendous potential for a fucking problem.
And some things have to really be dealt with off the air, and some people have to be spoken to, and so like sometimes you have to go out of your way to maybe say, you know what, I was wrong in this instance, I was wrong in that instance, and when that stops happening, it's not good.
You have to sometimes you have to step aside and just go, okay, this is a fucking disaster, I gotta sidestep this, and I just gotta shut up, and I have to make this right. And there's times where you got to do that. And it's like, we all have egos. Especially in radio, because you talk so much. Mm-hmm. It's like fucking, I don't like to back down. I like to fight. I like to win. I don't like to be told what to do. We all have that.
And we can all talk. So obviously we all think that we can talk better than whoever the next guy is.
Yeah, we all think we can talk our way out of things.
Yeah.
But there are times where you have to just shut up, or you just have to recognize, you know what I mean? It's almost like if you're in a bar and you're a good talker and you're able to usually get out of confrontation. There's that one time where the guy you're having a little thing with is not looking to get out of the confrontation. He really wants to knock your teeth out. You have to be able to identify that guy so you don't get your teeth knocked. Like, that's kind of what has to...
yeah, totally.
Somebody was asking a question here, but I guess he... Fred in the Bronx. Hello, Fred.
¿Tienes pregunta?
Hey, what's going on? What's
Hello.
going on, guys?
Hey.
I was wondering, do you think that you would be at this point in the station if you guys didn't have Estaku on that day?
If we didn't have what? Oh, it's fun.
If you had Estaku on that day.
Do you know, it's a very funny... I think my thing with him was deteriorating relatively quickly because I cared too much about Anthony being gone. And I'm not saying he didn't care about it, but I think for me, I was much more vocal about going, dude, we got to get him. We just had different ways, I think, of handling that. So Esther kind of brought stuff to light, but that was the beginning of the end.
And as far as I go,
it seemed to me that you was as surprised as I was when he was like, "No, we're not friends." I literally dropped my coffee. I did not understand what was going on, and I felt so bad, and it was so uncomfortable.
It was surprising, because I didn't feel necessarily uncomfortable, because, I'm okay with confrontation.
Right.
It was more like, why would you, in that moment, I thought, why would you say that to me on the air when nothing like that was happening before? Like, you're really throwing me under the bus on the air for no reason in this moment. And that put me in a place where, like, okay, now I have very, very little reason to ever defend you, or to feel any connection to you. Like, if he had said to me off, like, hey, I don't want to talk about it, and then off the air said, hey, man, I just don't feel like we're that close, that would have been a much different moment. But whatever, man, it is what it is. It was in the past. I had ugliness on my side, too. Anthony had ugliness on his side. So, again, it's easy just to blame him. And I don't have any... It really is weird, man. If a guy is not with a gig, it's a scary time. It sucks when that type of shit happens, and I take no joy in it. I really mean that, too. I'm not saying that to be polite, because I have nothing to gain. He can't. No. There's nothing he can do to fuck me over.
Theoretically.
I don't believe he can. But I have. I really mean that. I have no. I don't want to see bad shit happen to him.
Thank you. I'm going to punch out and jerk off while I listen to myself on the radio.
As you should. Cool. It's what we'll do when we listen to the replay later.
Yeah, and at that time for me, I was just happy that I was kind of forgotten about doing my night show over here. Nobody even remembered I was there until they had to remember I was there. And they're like, oh, Sam's back there.
Yeah, well, I would always try to get you in the...
I know you would.
Yeah, there was weird. A lot of weird shit happened, and
it gets weird though.
It does get weird.
It's a long time.
It's a long relationship. What we've had. Hold on one second here. Gary in New York. Hello, Gary.
Hey, what's going on, guys?
Hey, buddy.
Hey, that Voss roast, was Opie invited to that?
I'm sure it was an open invite. Of course he was.
He was specifically invited.
Oh, he was.
Yep.
Okay, he just decided not to show.
Yep.
Yeah, there was weird stuff too with him and Voss. Their relationship began to deteriorate, and also, I think a couple of odd things happened with a couple of other guys. So, Voss can be, we goof on Voss sometimes, but Voss is a fiercely loyal guy and has been a great friend to this show, to all three of us.
Yes.
And to expect Rich to choose between us, I thought was incorrect. I would never have wanted Voss to have to choose between us. So, yeah, he was invited, and Voss would have addressed it, because Voss just can't help himself.
No.
Voss is just too purely funny to not address shit. But, yes, he was invited.
Okay, well, if he did show up, would you guys have tried to maybe move past all this and just kind of, move on?
I don't know. I don't know how it would have been. I mean, I wouldn't have walked up to him and said, fuck you. It wouldn't have been like that. And I wouldn't have publicly, if I was at the mic and he wasn't at the mic, I wouldn't have publicly said something humiliating to him or tried to be genuine. I might have made a joke, but I wouldn't have tried to be a genuine twat to him. I just wouldn't have done that. It wouldn't have felt right. It would have felt shitty. But, yeah, I mean, I would have said hi to him if I saw him. I imagine he's angrier at me than I am at him because he thinks I took his morning show, which is just simply not the truth. Had he not done certain things, he would have still had the morning show, and I would have been on either 10 to noon or in the afternoon.
Yeah, that's what we signed on to do.
Yeah, my contract says 10 to 12. It does not say mornings. Opie said mornings.
I think, I agreed to 10 to 1.
Or maybe it was 10 to 1. But it was one of those things where, because of circumstances, they were like, we're not dealing with this. You guys take the morning. But we did not steal that show. And that was why I got very angry. But again, that's neither here nor there. If he's moving on, look, he's going to get a gig. If that's what's happening, he's going to get a gig.
Yes, of course.
And I'm not saying, again, I'm not saying that to be polite. It's just
what's going to happen.
Yeah, of course. I've heard whatever. I heard he already had offers before this. So
yeah, he'll be good.
Whatever statement he makes about it, or they make, or whatever the final decision is, we'll know soon.
Yeah.
All right, Gary?
All right, man. My investigative journalism is over.
Yeah, we're not trying to be vague. And, again, I'm just not that self-destructive that like I can't tell like the president of the company or other people like I'm not listening to what you're telling me. I just can't.
And I don't even think we've been that vague. I think people can,
of course,
figure it out. Do you want to see before we go to break? You want to see a reporter getting puked on?
I do, yeah.
Oh, okay.
Especially if he's doing what's the haps.
So Opie got fired, huh? That's fun.
That's you walked in right as we were talking about.
I know. I saw you guys talking about it.
How did you see us talking? You were watching our mouths.
Yeah, I've been practicing my lip reading. I've been fidget spinning, yo-yoing, and practicing lip reading.
Lewis is down the hallway going, "Not yet." Wait.
Okay, I'm gonna walk the dog over to. Oh, hey guys. Oh, what are you guys talking about? Opie, I was just out here walking the dog.
I saw your lips moving.
Yeah, I saw you mouth Opie. So we're trying to figure out what on Variety. Now there's something up.
It's on Variety. It's to the day, right? Or almost to the day that Anthony got fired?
No.
Almost 3 years to the day that when Anthony got fired, July 4th weekend,
It says
for
that, nearly
taking
3
a
years to the
picture,
day.
for taking a picture of somebody
years ago to the
without
day?
their permission. It is they're the same dude.
I'll tell you this: it's genius if he planned it.
What, if he planned on getting fired?
Yeah, if he did that. If he's like, let me get
What do you
fired.
think's gonna happen? Like, he's going over.
It is genius.
He's
If he gave up his kids' college fund. How hilarious
really?
and genius
Yeah,
would
he
that
really
be?
gave that
They're
up.
fine.
The millions that they have already.
Do you think this is a plan to go over and do Opie and Anthony on Cumia Network?
I don't know.
I think they'll probably do it.
Yeah.
I know that Anthony is like, they're making a hard play for it. They have been for a while. It seems like this has been happening for a while, though. Like, his whole staff has hated him for a while. The rumblings behind Opie's back here at Sirius
So
XM.
you've heard it.
I've heard shit for a while. I said this
Why
on
is the
Jim's
staff
show. I said this on Jim's show last week. It's like, I was told not to ever shit on Opie by multiple people at SiriusXM that he would specifically try to get you fired from your gigs if you ever made jokes about him. He never brought me and Dave on those shows specifically. I was told by Bobby Kelly and other people, he was like, "Oh, he doesn't like you. You joked about him on Anthony's show, so now he never wants to fucking help you guys."
That's all right. That's weird. I didn't have that kind of relationship with Opie. Like Opie and Anthony were both cool to me.
Yeah.
But you said that like you heard that if you talk shit about it, because we used to make fun of the fact that we were in his broom closet.
Yeah.
And that he banished us.
He bullied us out of the off studio.
But we never got any flack for that shit.
I don't know. I mean,
Was that what happened? Did he just put a show on immediately that competed with ours time-wise?
Yeah, but then it didn't work, and we're still here.
Yeah.
no, he would do little passive-aggressive bitch things. Instead of just saying how you fucking feel, he'll fucking go, he'll take your studio away, or he'll fucking put your friends on against you in the same time slots. You're like, dude, what are you doing?
Was that when Monday, Tuesdays
it's
are stories?
stupid. This would have fucking
Yeah, he put it up
shitty-
right against Skanks.
Yeah. Tuesday, but then also with
on a Monday?
Race Wars as well.
Yeah, they put Race Wars right
But Race Wars. So it's like, you understand, this is why you're an idiot, okay? Because you have people that have the same fan bases that can all share fan bases and kind of jump back and forth. Why would you have them kind of compete against each other? Also, we're going to win. We're Legion of fucking Skanks.
Yeah, you're an
crazy
army. Goddamn
motherfucker.
Race Wars, try to compete with us. Get the fuck out of here, bitch.
Ooh, this is some real Macho Man Hulk Hogan breakup right here. Mega powers.
We're all about finding villains now and arch nemesis, because we were told yesterday in studio here, actually at Sirius, that T.J. Miller was up here telling everyone that I'm the worst person.
He made you look like a bitch on the show last night.
Liz Sets Fire is saying, I'm absolutely tickled that Louis J. Gomez has the job with Sirius and Opie doesn't.
It's funny. We're taking him out one at a time.
Wow.
Who's next on our hit
I'll
list?
tell you this. Typical, he lived up to the name. That's a rattlesnake.
Yeah.
You just lay in the grass and you're like, oh, fuck.
Look, who knows? I believe in things like chaos theory, butterfly effect. You know, if Opie would have
anything with Ashton Kutcher, really.
If he's in a soggy wet T-shirt looking sick.
I really do love Ashton Kutcher projects. I like the Steve Jobs movie.
The one he was in?
No, I didn't like that one, but I kind of liked it.
You like that one over the Fassbender?
No, Fassbender one was incredible.
Yeah, come on,
bro. That convinced me to read the book.
Yeah.
Anyway, so
I hate how you
but
work
I believe that if Opie would have had me and Dave Smith on his show, if he would have invited me and Dave in,
you could have saved his career.
Who knows where he would be right now?
You think that...
Different trajectory, different reality.
All right, now I think about that all the time because I was supposed to call my sister the week she was killed in a car accident.
Yeah.
So I constantly think, like, if I would have called her, would that changed?
She would have still died, but Opie would still be on air.
That's what I thought.
Yeah.
That's what I thought. So if I would have called her...
She would have died on that call,
Yeah.
actually.
Yeah, she would have been like...
Hi, Dan. Just flipped off.
Hey, probably shouldn't answer my phone here, but...
And over end, and I'm going like this. Hello? And she goes, the radio! I'm trapped! I'm trapped on fire!
Dan, it's okay. I'm still alive.
She goes, oh no, the seatbelt is caught. I can't. I can't.
I think it's gas is dripping.
I can't. Fast
engine fire.
Fast forward 17 years, it's Jay and Opie. Thriving. Yeah, I got a needle problem in Aurora. I'm just on the fucking 225 underpass. Like, hey, I'll find anybody for a fix.
Final destination.
They would have killed it. Yeah. Faster. I would have killed her faster. You should have just died a couple exits earlier on the I-10. You saved Opie's career.
But Opie's still going strong. Me and him, we're 10 years in North thing.
Yeah.
So funny.
You guys are riffing.
I gotta run. Listen, I want to. Stephen in Virginia, you're the fucking man. Love you. I gotta bounce. Love you guys. Real Ass Podcast, Legion of Skanks, Believe You Me.
At Louis J. Gomez.
At Louis J. Gomez. Gomez Comedy on Instagram. GomezComedy.com for my dates and all that other shit.
He's got a trash skateboard. He'll be riding around New York.
Fucking gone.
Opie is gone.
Opie's gone.
He's gone. He's gone away. Gone away.
Opie is gone. Opie's gone. Opie got fired.
Opie's gone.
Opie's gone.
He's gone.
He is gone. On fire. Opie is fucking fired.
Fired.
I mean, you're
is fired.
Okay, now somebody, Shane wants to ask Sam about what he just said. Shane?
Okay.
Hey, Sammy, what did I miss that these fucking two douchebags are calling you a fucking weasel and a fucking pussy? Like there's something important to this fucking lineup.
Yeah, I was all.
What am I missing?
Well, I didn't even hear about this until just this moment.
I was all fired up last night. I didn't know. So last night I was watching the Seth Rollins movie in the comfort of my home because he's coming in today.
Thank you, Shane.
And I get a text from Rich, from Covino and Rich, and he goes, I'll read you the text just so everybody knows what we're working with. Rich sent me a text, and he goes, hey, man, you up? And I go, hey, dude, yeah. And he goes, talking about you and channel stuff. Nothing bad. Can we call you? And I go, yeah, for sure. And I'm like, what does he want? My insight on some of my vast programming knowledge?
Yeah.
Like, well, he must want to speak to the last professional broadcaster. I can't think of a more appropriate person. And then I open my Twitter account just because I figure, well, if they're talking about me,
sure,
probably get a little update on what's going on. And all I get is tweets from people that are going like, oh, Covino and Rich are talking shit. Oh, they just called you a weasel. Oh, this and that. And I was like, I'm the weasel, and that's the text I get to set up my phoner, and they're asking to call me. So I already knew like how it was going to be spun. I waited for them to call me because I've got other things to do.
Power move.
And as they asked, if they could, they asked for permission to call me. I said, of course.
Politely. They did ask politely.
Yes, I said, of course you can call me. And they did. And when I got on, they were like, hey, Sam, thanks for calling in. And I went, whoa.
Like they wanted to seem like you were listening and just had to chime in?
Right. I was like, first of all, you called me. And now, I was lucky because I did the Chip podcast last night. We taped it. And
it's the best, by the way. I love it.
Thank you.
I love it, man.
Yeah,
it's so good.
It's a really fun one.
It's the one podcast I watch visually too.
Oh, thank you. Yeah, Chip really does light up the screen.
This one got weird too.
It certainly did.
Really
Louis Gomez was really great on it too, and so was Lenny.
Louis Gomez and Chip Chipperson have more in common than you would think.
I completely.
Louis was good though because he was like really talking to Chip about racial issues. Fucking black people do this, and Jews do that. Like Louis, he doesn't exist.
Louis really is. He's the king of yes-anding. He was just like, because he podcasts so much, he was trying to go along with Chip's line of conversationing, and I'm like, no, he's gonna fail you, buddy. He's gonna fail you.
Yeah, he was fun. I enjoyed Louis. All right, so what happened? You call in, and you call them out on pretending that you just called in, right?
That I called in, and I had listened to a little bit of the show on the way home. I caught the beginning of it before I pulled into the garage. I listened to the end of Nick's show and the beginning of the Covino and Rich show, and in that 15 minutes that I had heard, they said something about Covino not listening to the channel for whatever reason, and it didn't really click in with me at that moment as anything remarkable, because I don't think any of us spend a ton of time listening to radio after this. We're all busy working.
To other talk shows. Yeah, I don't listen to other talk shows. Ooh, I wonder what they're joking about, the same thing I do.
Right.
Who gives a fuck?
Exactly. So, I mean, if I'm driving around, I'll either listen to, one of my wrestling podcasts, or I'll throw on the channel and see what's on or whatever. Yeah. But I'm not sitting at home being like, oh, what's going on this show? And what's going, So, so they start going like, oh, of course. Like I was being a dick when I said, you called me. They were like, why? Yeah, why would Sam ever listen? Like as if I was trying to big time them,
right?
As opposed to just saying. And I was like, first of all, I said, why am I getting a text saying, hey, buddy, is it okay if we call you? And then getting a bunch of tweets saying you guys are talking shit. And I was like, second of all, Covino, if the issue is that I don't listen to your show, you just said you don't listen to other shows. There's nothing more to it.
Right, of course.
And they started trying to paint this picture of, they said, well, it's just, because every time we see you, Sam, you're nice to us, to our face, and we just kind of get the vibe that you don't really act like we exist on the channel on the air. And I was like, I don't know what you guys are talking about. Is what you're looking for a daily Covino and Rich update on the Jim and Sam show? Do you want me to recap what's going on with Covino and Rich every morning?
I've pushed for that for a long time, and you keep saying no. I'm like, let's do a little bit of kind of sum up of Covino and Rich, and you're like, no, I'm not talking about those guys. Fuck them, which I think is harsh.
Well, yeah, that's just my jealousy. That's my jealousy peering through. And I go, the shows that we talk about, of course we're going to talk about what's going on with Opie, because it's front page radio news. Yeah. Sorry. And he's the guy that we've worked with for 12 years. Our entire foundation in radio came from
Opie and
Anthony and Opie's show. I was like, there's legitimate drama and beef going on between those two shows, and have been since we started. But I was like, but I'm not sitting there giving channel updates on every show that's happening on the channel. I don't know what you're talking about.
Right.
And then and he goes and I go, and why were you guys calling me a weasel before I'm on the phone, and then asking if you could call me and being like, hey, you're such a good guy usually. And they start going, no, I don't want you to feel like you were attacked. That was totally lighthearted and joking and backpedal. And I was like, okay, I'll accept the backpedal. I don't mind the backpedal.
Sure.
If you're backpedaling in a public way, if you just backpedal privately, then I'm like, no. You have to go on the air and backpedal.
Yeah. If you say it publicly and you're going to backpedal publicly, that's acceptable.
And I was totally.
We've all done a little backpedaling,
right?
None of us like to just go, you know what? I'm sorry, I was being a dick. We like to subtly backpedal. No, but you know what? Sometimes it's, you know what? I was talking shit and I got caught. I'm sorry.
Yeah,
it happens.
It feels better to fade away than to abruptly just say you're wrong.
It does, right? Yeah. One feels like at least you're backing out with dignity. Both are humiliating.
Yeah. So when they were backpedaling on the air, I was like, and they were like, and I was like, look, I didn't hear what you guys said, so I'm not going to call you out on specific things, but if you guys are saying that, fine, no problem. And they were backpedaling, and I was like, that's fine. And then they were like, well, we just heard on the air today you said that you and Jason Ellis were the only hosts that mattered on the channel. And I was like, what are you talking about? In my head, I didn't say it out loud, but in my head, I'm like, that cancels out my own co-host. Why would I sit in a room with my co-host and tell him the guy whose name has top billing on the show doesn't matter?
And I'm such a codependent piece of shit. I'm probably like, you're right, Sam. Good point. Good point. I didn't even notice. I'm Sam whipped. My head was nodding. You're right.
I said, the only time your name came up on our show, this was yesterday, but whatever, was when we were talking about the bios on the website. Somebody pulled out the website when we realized Opie wasn't on the website anymore, and pulled up the host bios. And I said, Covino is listed twice. The dumb producer is on there. Why would I not sit there and question, how can you have a list of hosts with two Covinos, the dumb producer, and no Sam Roberts and no Jason Ellis on the list?
Yeah.
And I said, don't you think a list of hosts on the channel would be grossly incomplete without Sam Roberts and Jason Ellis. They're like, well, yeah. I was like, well, that's what I said.
You're really showing your true colors there, Sam.
Yeah, you really are. How Weasley wants to be mentioned on the website.
And they're like, well, okay. And then they started kissing my ass a whole bunch, and I said thank you, because I accepted the compliments. They're like, we just think you do a good show, and blah blah blah. And I said, thank you, but again, like I'm not here to. I don't talk about Nick DiPaolo. I love Nick DiPaolo. I don't talk about Jason Ellis. I'm a fan of Jason Ellis.
I don't talk about anybody on the channel. It's like, obviously the Opie firing we'll talk about because everybody wants to talk about it. It's fine.
Well, and he's off the channel.
Yeah, he's off.
That's true. But it's not like this thing of like, oh, well, we're our show, so we don't want to mention other shows because it'll. Yeah, it's a matter of like the same reason why every show. I go, how often do you talk about what goes on the Jim and Sam show on your show? Well, I guess not that often. Well, I think you just answered your question as to what's going on. I mean, it was just a whole bunch of nothing. But I'm like, I don't know why you thought I was the guy that you want to fuck with, especially with all this going on. And unfortunately for them, I had just gotten into an argument with my wife about money. So I was in no state to like...
She wants you to make more of it.
Unfortunately, some of the people down the hall don't see it her way.
No, they certainly don't.
But...
And, people, it's amazing how wrong people get it. Like, Covino and Rich are radio guys, so, like, they should probably know a little bit better. But the fans they get it wrong. Like, why do I get mad, like, when they get it wrong?
I don't even mind when the fans get it wrong, because I feel like sometimes they get it wrong because they hope that there's some drama because it's like soap opera shit, and I don't mind that. I like soap opera shit.
Yeah.
And sometimes they don't get it wrong, and they're just lying to see if they can get some shit going, and... I don't really mind that either because it's kind of funny.
They do.
As a person, like, you have access to all audio. Everything's on demand now at Sirius. So, like, if I get tweets that a show was talking about me, I have no feeling about it whatsoever until I actually hear the audio.
So you hear how they said it, what the voice inflection was.
Yeah.
They might go like, oh, he's a weasel, but they might be laughing when they say it. They might be joking, and it doesn't translate when somebody writes it.
But you're capable of compartmentalizing that in real time? Because I guess you've been doing it for so long that you probably have had practice.
I'm not capable of that, no.
Yeah,
I'm a hothead douchebag.
I couldn't imagine that. It would probably crush me.
Yeah, no, I kind of just go... Oh, what the fuck is that about? Like, kind of just like, that's a weird tweet to get. And then, but I always listen. Like, I never just brush it off. I always
hear it,
do the research. If I hear somebody's talking about me, positive or negative, I just about always do the research to figure out what was being said. Because if they said something nice, I wouldn't be like, oh, that person's an ally. And if they said something shitty, I want it to, rain thunder on them.
Yeah, and everybody wants, people who think that we avoided, we talked about Opie yesterday, but here's what happened. We got a phone call the night before from the president of the company. He told us, this is what we just did.
Donald Trump.
Yes, Donald Trump. Well, no, Trump, I couldn't think of a good improv. I almost said Trump emailed, and I'm like, no, that stinks as a joke. It's amazing how you fucking realize, but I'm on the radio, so I have to admit that I started talking and stopped, and that was why I had a shit joke coming.
I would have looked at you and politely chuckled, but thought to myself, that didn't add.
That was why I stopped it. Yeah. I caught myself. I abruptly stopped. I couldn't backpedal. I had to just stop and apologize. This one was going to bomb.
Yeah.
And he goes, we're allowed to talk about it, whatever we want, however we want to, but we were asked not to break the news. I don't know why. I don't know if it's a human resources. I really don't know. There's personnel shit involved.
I figured it was because we work for Sirius, and if we break the news, we're the first to comment. It's as if a comment is coming from the company.
Yeah, I don't know why, but I just knew that human resources and the fucking lawyers were involved, and I knew somebody else would mention, but that was why we just didn't come out of the gate. For whatever reason, whenever the lawyers are involved, I get a little creeped out because I don't want to deal with them on any level.
Yes.
The attorneys, and I don't want to deal with fucking human resources on any level. So
especially when they got their firing pen out.
Yeah, I mean, look, if they'll fire Opie or they'll fire Anthony, they'll fire me. I'm not delusional.
Yeah.
All right, Josh wants to say Opie's final last words. You guys want to talk about the Opie fire? Whatever you want, you can talk about it. Go ahead, Josh.
Within reason, of course.
Yeah. Nothing disparaging. No, go ahead. We don't give a shit. Go ahead, Josh.
Just because he's not around to say it, box.
I don't know if he said your mom's box.
No, I don't think. I mean, he didn't know it was his last show, so I would imagine he did not.
All right. Kristen in New York. Yes, Kristen.
Hi, guys.
Hello.
How are you? Happy birthday, Jim.
Hello. How are you?
So, two things. first, Jimmy, why aren't you gonna address the Chip talking smack about you?
Chip was shitting on
I
you,
just
dude.
don't, because I don't like to get. You don't pay attention to it and it goes away.
Right. You don't
It goes away.
You don't punch down, Jim.
Yeah. Plus, I'm not giving him a platform.
Go away.
What's that?
Chip is never gonna go away. He needs to stay here.
Jim's pretending he's above that, thinking that, like, well, Jim Norton is the name on the marquee, so if Chip is shitting on him, it's beneath him, but he doesn't realize that Chip is becoming the name on the marquee very quickly.
But yes, he does realize that. And by the way, just off the sidetrack for 1/2 second before you talk about it, there's 3 Chip animations that are up now. I put them up yesterday. One of them was done for a while, and one literally just got finished. I hope people like them. I feel really good about these, and there's a lot more coming because they didn't cost that much money. So go to my Facebook page. I will tweet them, but I didn't know how to embed them and tweet them from where I was. So check out 3 of them. Coke Logic did one, and that guy Daniel did 2. I hope people like them. I feel very confident with these.
I did the cartoon. Daniel.
Yeah. Different Daniel.
Oh.
Yeah, but people have enjoyed them so far. Yes, Kristen, sorry, go ahead.
And then what are the details on Opie? Was it because he did that video in the bathroom?
What else could... No, it's because he fucking wouldn't say who he voted for. Of course that's what it was.
I was told by Sirius, as believe it or not, I've been told before, it wasn't any one thing in specific.
Yeah, there was probably other stuff too, but I think that was the final one. Whenever
He's a scumbag.
Who's a scumbag?
Opie.
Oh, you know,
geez.
look.
Jeez, whoa.
I don't want to kick Opie when he just got fired. Honestly, I don't. Like, if me and him, people are like, why are you guys keeping the gloves on? Because he didn't say anything particularly horrible. Our show and him threw jabs at each other, me and him threw jabs. But he didn't unload on me and say something horrible. And if I'm going to unload on him and say something horrible, it's going to be in response. I know some people want that. Sorry that I'm not going to make a relationship I've had for 15 years a fucking house fire just so you can basically get a fucking 10-minute dopamine drip.
So 19 people on Reddit can be like, that's our Jimmy!
And they don't give a fuck about me anyway.
I know. They're just waiting for you to do something that they hate regardless.
It doesn't matter. And even if I do something they kind of like, if they're bored, they'll hate it anyway.
Yeah. You could blow up completely your relationship with Opie, and they'd be happy until you said anything nice about Amy Schumer, and then it would be back to square one.
It's about what I feel is right. And look, Opie and I have our issue. We don't have a relationship right now. I'm not going to attack the guy who did a lot for me. He was kind of instrumental in changing my life, and I don't feel good that he got fired. You know what I mean? I understand it's a $1 billion corporation. I think what he did was stupid. And I think him admitting it on the air was tactically not a smart move.
Yeah.
And I think that I wish Opie was better at recognizing his part in things for himself. He'd be a lot happier. And I almost feel bad for him on this. I actually do feel bad for him because he was enjoying that radio show.
Yes.
I've heard it. I could tell. I didn't listen to it on a daily basis. I don't listen to my own fucking show. But it was obvious that he was liking it. And a lot of people don't like Sherrod or Vic. Okay, fine. But I know Opie. He was enjoying that show.
And the show had found for what it was, it had found a pretty good groove.
Of course it did.
Like, it was a real show.
We're not denying that. I'm not stupid. I'm not the one who said Opie doesn't have fans. Of course he has fans.
Yeah. Right.
So you don't think he sabotaged his own show?
I think he sabotages things without knowing it. Yes, I do think that that's a flaw in him. I think he doesn't recognize when he self-sabotages.
Yeah.
Yeah. But I don't think he wanted to fuck that show
Right,
up.
not
I think
purposely.
No.
Yeah.
No, I think he was enjoying that show. With me and him, we weren't enjoying it. I wasn't and he wasn't. But I do think he was enjoying that show. And I do think that this one he didn't see coming. And I think he's probably genuinely shocked. And that's where, when these things are happening, you have to be better at recognizing this is a bad one. Like, you have to be better at going, whoa. Like, I had a legal issue at one point, and I recognized this is a major fucking problem here, and I have to step very, very lightly.
A girlfriend age thing.
Oh.
He thought 12 was the age of consent.
Yes.
Which is wrong.
It's not.
I was wrong.
It's not.
No.
Jesus
No.
Christ, you read a fucking smudge paper and all of a sudden you're a bad guy. But you know what I mean? So yeah, but I don't want to, I'm not going to attack Opie. And it's not, so we can fight back on Twitter. It's shitty. The guy got fired. I don't feel good that he got fired.
I would rather he did not get fired.
Yeah, I didn't want to see him get fired.
It is pretty ironic that both him and Anthony were dismissed for camera-related issues.
By the way, on July 4th weekend.
People have pointed out, it is very funny.
That's unreal.
The Opie and Anthony show, one is fired for an argument with a hooker, one is fired for filming in the bathroom, and neither is Jim Norton. Whoever pointed it out was very funny. But Kristen, you know what I mean? That's whatever you want to know, I'll tell you about that story. We're not hiding anything. People think that if anyone by the way, anyone who thinks, and thank you for the call, that we people are like, oh, you guys made him go to human. That shit was happening before I even knew that was an issue. I didn't even know that something had happened until it was already in motion. So if you think that, you're just a dope.
Yeah, I mean, I guess I didn't realize that people thought we had anything to do with it. But yeah, I mean,
I think I asked you this last time, but do you not have any reaction or impulse to react to any of like the pump fakes he gives? Because he does kind of vaguely speak about this show and the issues it has, or the information he has.
He's mad at us, and I have a lot of issues with him, so we fire back.
Right.
Of course, but he's doing it. People are like, why are you guys being passionate? Because he's kind of being that way. He's not coming out and going, Jim sucks. I hate this. If he did, I would take the gloves off and punch back.
Yeah.
But he's not doing that. And if I'm not going to do that when the guy just got fired.
Right.
You know what I mean? I understand that our relationship deteriorates. It happens. But right now he's looking for a gig, and I want to see him get a gig. I mean that. I'm not being I'm not being polite. I have nothing to gain by being polite. But I didn't want to see the guy get fired. He had a tremendous influence in my life. And despite the fact that we fell apart at one point, there was a long time when we didn't fall apart. There was a lot of laughs I had with that guy. He traveled with me when we were off the air. I mean, I have a long history with him. So I'm not going to fucking kick him in his fucking teeth like the day after he gets fired. It's just a scumbag move, and I'm not going to do it. And it's a pussy move. It's a pussy move to attack him now when I was only throwing little jabs while he was on the air. And now that he's off, I'm going to fucking unload. That's a pussy move.
That's
and I'm not
probably
going
what
to do
people
it.
expect it.
Maybe I am what I eat. Quick fire, Jim. Pow!
That is so.
Covino and Rich, here I come, baby. Team Covino and Rich. Hold on one second. Rod, yes, you can ask anything you want about the Opie firing. What's up, Rod? Hello.
Yeah, hey guys, love the show.
Thank you.
I love the lineup, and it's too bad that that Opie got fired. But you guys kind of talked with the other caller there, like. Do you think that he kind of, self-imploded and sabotaged himself? With
I think. Sorry, go ahead. I'm sorry, man. I didn't mean to cut you off. Go ahead.
No, sorry. No, like you lost the morning. I don't know what happened when you guys separated, and you guys got the morning, and you got the afternoons or whatever. And then the Howard thing happened, and then I think after the Howard.
To talk to a boss. I don't talk to a boss. If I don't have to do this, I don't do that. I focus on what is happening on the show, do the work, and go home.
Yes, and I guess this guy has a question. I don't even know how much of this I can answer, Joe, because I wasn't there for it. Yes, Joe in D.C.
Hey guys, love the show.
Thank you.
Thanks.
I think Jimmy, I think you might have said once yesterday or before that the relationship between Opie and Roland had kind of taken a downturn. Was that Opie upset that Roland wasn't booking his show as well as he was booking yours, or
I don't know. I can't.
Is that kind of how it went down?
I can't speak for Opie. I had heard rumblings that Opie was not happy with Roland and that he had been going down and talking to Scott, trying to complain about Roland. But again, Opie may deny that. That was what I had heard long before this happened. So that their relationship was not particularly great. Maybe it got better. Again, I'm totally guessing, dude. I didn't involve myself that much in those politics. I don't know. I know that the guests in the afternoon simply aren't as good as they are in the morning. There's not as many good guests at 3 o'clock as there are here, because a lot of them are in town. They're doing Fallon or they're doing something else, but literally they just aren't in the building as much. But I think that there was strife between Opie and the talent department in general, but that was not something Roland created. I think that had been kind of brewing for a while. He was mad at who he wasn't getting. Whatever. That was what but this didn't just creep up like they were just best buddies and all of a sudden, hey, this good-natured thing happens and then Roland runs to HR. I don't think that's how it happened.
All right. Thanks, man.
Okay, Joe. Let's see here. Okay, Bob the Trucker.
Hey,
Bobby.
Hey, Bob.
Sam, Jim. I listened to the Opie's last show. Just listening to it, and me driving a truck, I ain't got nothing but time on my hands. So I found a YouTube video. It was the complete saga of Opie versus Jim. It was 8 hours long.
Is that really? Holy shit!
Yes.
Well,
yes.
I know what I'm doing with my weekend.
Yeah. Wow.
It was 8 hours long. It started with the very first argument with you calling them so sociopathic. And
what year was that? That might be
that was 2004.
That was 2004.
Yeah, that was the first. That was within the first few months, because I showed up. in June of 2005, and it was before that.
He had, I remember that fight vaguely because he was in a weird place. Like, and his dad had died before the show, so he had said, like, look, I'm in a weird place. You know what I mean? And so he'd been kind of being a little cunty to me on the air, so much that people in my personal life noticed and were asking me, is there a problem with you guys? Like, why is he doing this to you? Like, why is he speaking to you this way on the air? And then we had that blowout, and I forget exactly what started it. I don't know if it was over Bill Burr and Sean Rouse.
I don't remember his
Sean Rouse, probably. But I vaguely remember that.
yeah.
But he had been taking shots at me. And like I remember one time I picked a bloody booger, and I showed I showed Anthony, and this is again before that. I showed Anthony because Anthony hated boogers, and I guess Opie was trying to do something, and I remember he looked at me. He goes, "Oh, what do you need some attention now?" Or something like it was like, ugh. Like,
Yeah.
it was like that type of stuff.
Yeah.
But I really don't remember the whole fight.
I do side with Opie in the fact that boogers are gross.
They are but that was also kind of my point. Look at how gross look at how gross this is.
Okay.
So I'm sorry, you were saying you listened to the whole saga, which I've never listened to.
I would have said, ew, boogie. Yeah.
I just listened to the whole thing, and then that got me to find another video about another argument with Opie and Anthony. The I guess they call it the grape incident.
Yep.
I don't ever remember hearing that.
I remember that
when it happened
at the XM studio. Yeah.
So is this while you're driving?
Yeah, I was just gonna say that he's just operating YouTube.
driving.
That's awesome. I mean,
downshifting.
I have to, because I think about that sometimes for the truckers that just spend like, huge chunks of time on the road, 8, 10, 12, 16 hours driving. And like that has to be a gold mine when you find hours upon hours of arguing.
It's got to be great.
It's got to be, yeah.
Okay, so you listen to it
from Adderall anyway.
And to top it all off, just to finish it up, after listening to all that, I needed to find some entertainment. So I found Jimmy, 4 hours of the old Ramon bit, and I was laughing my ass off with that.
Well, thank you very much. I appreciate it. Yeah, I've never listened to the Opie Jimmy fight or the Opie and Anthony fight. I don't know, but I mean they're out there if you want to hear them.
I maybe given it a spin.
I have to.
Thank you very much. Let's see here.
How long had you been with the show before you felt comfortable arguing?
He was just a guest.
Oh, really?
First time. I came on like 2000 or 2001. I got hired. I was there for like around 2000 2002. And then through the whole firing, I was there.
Yeah.
And we had just come back on. I still remember meeting Opie at the train station. He had gone to D.C. with Anthony, and he came back on the train. And he was like, we're going. He came back. I met him at the fucking train station when he got there in New York. He came back to Penn Station. And he's like, we're going to mornings. And I remember going, fuck, I like the afternoons.
Right.
He's like, yeah, man, we got to do it. It's the big. I'm like, I was trying to talk him into it. He goes, no, we got to do it. And I remember, like, that's how long I was with him. It was before, and I still remember walking with him and Anthony on the way to an XM meeting. Before we were on the air, we were going to sit in the old XM conference room. Before Ron and Fez even had an office there. They were still on terrestrial. Excuse me. And I remember, like, walking, and Anthony was very frail back then. He was still, like, really thin. And I remember Anthony said, we were talking about some old guy, and Anthony goes, yeah, he had that old man equilibrium. And you know how Anthony would do his hands? And I remember when Anthony said that, I was like, it's going to be great. This is going to be great. Like, I just knew it was going to be fun like it was before. When we walked, and he had that weird moment of saying that old man equilibrium. And I'm like, yes, I feel the connection again, like I felt. Like we were just walking to a meeting, and that told me that this show was going to work again. But that's how far back I go with those guys. So that's why I have you have very mixed feelings even after you fight. Somebody wanted to ask about where do I think he will? Yes, hello, Travis. No, wrong one. Travis in Missouri, what's up?
Yeah, I was just wondering, do you guys plan to test around in the afternoons, or what's going on there?
We don't know what's going to happen in the afternoons, to be honest. Is Sam or Travis going to move to the afternoons? Well, why would they?
No, not move to the afternoons, just do some extra shows or something.
No, I mean, I'm sure they're going to find something and put it there.
Yeah, we were explained that for now they're putting our show on in the afternoon,
which is great
until they move a new show over. So yeah, I mean, like we said, there was nothing planned about this. So it was literally yesterday after the show it was Wicklin and Gary coming in here. Who Gary, like, I thought he was going to go through the shakes when he came through that door. It's the first time in 3 years. You remember Gary?
I remember Gary.
Known in some circles as the radio wizard, came into this studio for the first time since he left the show, since he was moved to a different department at Sirius.
Yeah.
But they said that, look, you know, this is what happened yesterday, and this is what the channel is going to look like for the time being until we find a show to put on in the afternoon.
Okay, thank you, Travis. And Chuck in North Carolina. Is this the Chuck that I know? Hi, Chuck.
Yeah.
Hey, buddy.
Glad to hear y'all, man. I've been listening to both shows ever since y'all split up.
Chuck, I hope you're
And
not.
I
hope you're not insulted.
I never did call.
Okay, Chuck.
No, I never did call. I never did call y'all's show because I didn't want to get in no outs with either one of you.
You mean that you were afraid? Hold on, Chuck.
Heard...
You were afraid that if you called our show, Opie would get mad at you. That's what it is. You could just say that. That's what it was.
Yeah, well, I've been talking to Opie and y'all for years and had a good rapport.
Sure.
And I used to call Sam's show at night all the time. Y'all do a good show. What did he do? I cannot find. What did he do?
I'll tell you. This is what happened.
What in tarnation?
Yeah.
He sounds like he's wearing pajamas where the ass falls down.
You know, I was sitting in that goddamn outhouse, and I come out, and, well, the fucking Opie's gone. What did he do?
He filmed Roland taking a shit. And then showed, and again, I understand the environment we used to work in. Like, we would have done stuff like that. But he filmed Roland shitting over the, and I don't know if Roland saw him at the time, but I guess Roland was laughing along with it after, and he showed a couple of the comics. And I don't know what pushed that to the next level.
I think they were, honestly, like, my opinion, I haven't talked to anybody about it, because like I said, if I don't have to have a conversation with the boss, I'd prefer not to. But I would imagine that him doing that video in Howard's thing, even though it wasn't a huge...
That was the beginning of a major problem.
I think that was sort of one of those things that they kept on file, and just, it's not quite enough, but we want to, you know, I think maybe, I don't want to say they had it out for him, but...
The bathroom thing scared, I think, freaked Roland out. I think because Opie was hitting him on Twitter. You may be joking, maybe not, I don't know. Trying to get it posted. I think Roland was humiliated and thinking that it was going to get posted. That's what I think he was really afraid that Opie would do it regardless.
Yeah, his voice became high-pitched and mumbled.
Yes, which
so
was
we
odd.
knew something was wrong.
And he, I forget, I don't know if he talked to, but I know it was one of his bosses that actually went up the ladder with it. It wasn't anybody on staff. These fucking, some of you fans out there that listen to the paranoid nonsense that gets, it was one of Roland's. Roland was uncomfortable. He didn't want to work for the show. He didn't want to book the show. And I think Opie was mad at him. Whatever it was, like, fine, fuck you. You know, like, they had, like, one of those. Like, you don't want me to put it up? Fine, I won't. Like, one of those. And then it went up the ladder. That was what happened. It was, you know, and once the head of talent, who's got a vice president tag, I believe, gets involved and talks to the people above him, which is human resources or whatever their thing is, and the lawyers get involved and they come downstairs and go, all right, what's happening? Tell us. Then it's beyond anybody's control. But that's how it got blown out of proportion.
Yeah.
And the bottom line is it's a fucking billion-dollar corporation. And once the lawyers are involved, they don't give a fuck about any one guy. Once human resources is involved, they don't give a... No one guy won't get fired. Howard maybe is the only one that could have possibly survived this. And once they're looking at lawsuits, I don't even know if Howard could have survived this because they're scared of being sued.
I mean, it's math. It's like, how much is Howard or whoever worth to the company versus how much is this in potential lawsuits?
How much, or is this person? I think that's what it was.
It's it. It's math.
They haven't spoken to me about it. Just having been here for a number of years, I think that's what it was. When they see you as doing something that can get them sued for real, I think they get paranoid about it.
Okay, man. Well, that takes care of it. What y'all did with Opie and Anthony and y'all's show and Sam's show and then Opie's show, y'all don't know how much, like you were talking about truck drivers, how that gets you through the day when you got problems at home, your parents die, shit like that. Get your mind off of. Yeah.
Hey, buddy.
Glad to hear y'all, man. I've been listening to both shows ever since y'all split up.
Chuck, I hope you're not. I hope you're not insulted.
I never did call.
Okay, Chuck.
It's well worth the money to pay, and Sam, make sure you tell your daddy I said hey.
My dad does not like Chuck.
All right,
they got in a big argument one time.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you, Chuck. I appreciate it.
He thinks Chuck's.
Okay, man.
All right.
See y'all. Y'all have a good day.
And by the way, if I may have gotten some of that wrong, I really am telling you what I know and what I think happened. I could, but if there's something in there I got wrong, there's no reason like, oh, he hid this. No, I really didn't.
Yeah.
I have zero investment on not telling you people 100% of the truth about this. I don't know about this one. Hello, James in North Carolina. Hello.
Yeah, I'm glad you let me follow my brother Chuck there.
Yeah.
Oh, boy.
Anyway, he touched on a lot of the basic points I was going to make. I knew what the firing was about. But my point is, Chuck said that us truck drivers use you guys to get through the day, and that's very important for us because there's very little programming on the entire channel that is new and refreshing every day. And the thing is what really pisses me off about this whole thing is I'm seeing a pattern here where you guys are getting picked off one by one. I kind of saw it when Anthony got fired, it was a big deal. But then when they turned the channel into the faction channel, I was like, okay, something's going on here and it's not good.
I'll tell you this:
Because
I'm already politicking to make sure I'm the one who survives, not Jim.
So am I. I prefer he survives. No, James, I don't think it's anything paranoid. I think that the brand, the Opie and Anthony brand, once that got destroyed, and then once Jim and Opie didn't work out, Opie and Jim, however you want to phrase it, the appeal of that, I wanted to split up the show. I think Opie did too. I mean, I wasn't like, Opie was like, hey, buddy, I'm loving the show. And I'm like, fuck you, Opie. It was like, we weren't happy with each other. We had just looked at each other for too many years. There was too much bad blood. It was better for both of us to end it. So I think that's why Faction, I hate the name Faction, but I think they ended the Opie radio thing because that brand of the Opie and Anthony thing was no longer going to be. It was going to be Opie doing his thing, Jim doing his thing, and Anson somewhere else. I guess that's why they did it. They wanted to bring more alive. But it wasn't, I don't think it was any kind of foreshadowing. I think we all became more, our heads were more closer to the chopping block if we fucked up.
Yeah.
Like, I'm a lot more likely to get fired probably now than I would have been in Opie and Anthony's head. Or maybe not now because my name's on the thing.
You got the last professional broadcaster, bro. You got no problems.
But I think that we're all more vulnerable when we're split up.
He's like, I stand by it.
Yeah, okay. All right.
Let me ask this real quick.
That's what I think.
Let me ask this real quick.
Sure.
Okay, that's a valid point, Jim, but the question is, okay, Opie was the head of the Opie and Anthony show,
yep.
And now that he's gone, Anthony's gone, yeah, the name is no good. But what about on the other side of the fence where you got Howard Stern, who has his own, two channels, one channel?
7.
Both channels are nothing but Howard Stern and the replays and all this other garbage. I can't even listen to that.
Okay.
But the thing is he has become kind of like a tree taking root. After you guys were there, you guys were the founding fathers of the channel on XM.
Well, he was at Sirius. In fairness, he was at Sirius first. I know what you're saying, dude, and I appreciate that. We were at XM before anyone was on satellite. Opie and Anthony were the first big names on satellite. We had 11,000 listeners when we came on. 11,000 subscriptions is how many we started with on XM. And it may have built up by the time we hit the air a month later or whatever. But Howard is Howard, dude. The reality is this. He's also a smart behind-the-scenes guy. Howard had legal issues with the company over subscriptions and wanting bonuses. He didn't win that lawsuit. He just went on and kept his mouth shut, and he knew what he could say publicly and what he couldn't. He's smarter than the Opie and Anthony franchise. And I say Opie and Anthony franchise. He's smarter than all three of us as far as shooting yourself in the foot and as far as fucking saying things publicly. He's been more of a smarter businessman in that way.
He's not a businessman. Okay. He's a businessman.
Right, but see, the thing that makes Howard so deluded is he has branched himself out so far. He's got the radio shows, he's got the replays, he's got the television stuff he's doing.
Yeah, dude.
And then he takes all that time.
That's not relevant to what I know what you're saying. You don't have to listen to Howard, but he's kind of ingrained here, and they value his name.
And he's got a history of in radio, right? I mean, he's done.
It doesn't seem like they see the dilution of the Howard Stern brand as to the Opie and Anthony or Opie brand.
No, they don't. They see that. They see Howard as more. Go ahead, buddy.
Opie puts in just as much work.
They don't care about that, dude. They don't give a shit about that. This guy's in radio longer than Opie, who aren't nearly as successful as Opie. They don't give a fuck. You think they look at it and go, hey, how long's he been punching a clock? They give a fuck about numbers, and the fact is Howard is the biggest name, and everyone knows that, and it's fine. And he's also, like, he's just doing the show. They've had extracurricular things happen here that they had to worry about. They don't have any of that over there to worry about. For whatever reason, that's what they're comfortable with. But dude, don't even worry yourself about Howard. It has nothing to do with this situation. They're totally separate situations.
I'll tell you what. The liberal progressive nonsense over there has got to stop. Because
all right, dude, you're going off the rail. James, I got to let you go. I don't care about their politics on Stern. I don't care what they're doing. Good for him. He's $1 billion institution, and I fucking still can't maintain an erection steadily. So, you know what I mean? I'm not concerned with what he does. Yeah. Good for him. All right? If you don't like it, don't listen to it. That's all. All right, buddy. Take care. Okay. You know, I don't want to get too diluted. You know, you want to talk about... all right, here's a question for me and for Sam. Yes, Eric, what's up?
Hey, how's it going, boys?
If we were any better, it would be, I can't think of anything. That's a chip thing. Go ahead.
So, Sam, I was listening to the end of Covino and Rich last night just because it was what was on. But they ended the show saying, oh, and thank you, Sam Roberts, for calling in. And that sort of misled me, especially hearing about it this morning, about how you were called. So I think they were just trying to hatch things over or make it seem like you were just such a nice guy, but I don't know if that's actually what happened.
Yeah, no, I mean, I think I am such a nice guy, but no, I mean, it happened exactly as I said it, and if you want to listen on demand, feel free. You know, I specifically said, you know, I read the text.
Yeah.
I think it's cool that you just call into shows as a fan.
I don't. Yeah, no, I don't.
What else do you want to ask, Eric?
Oh, and also, why is it that Opie just can be so rude sometimes? Like, I feel like that's probably a big part of him, you know, and this attitude about him getting fired. Because
Stephanie Tanner had the same question.
So many... Sorry, what?
No, it's a joke about Full House.
It was such a sweet boy question, though. Why is he so rude?
Yeah, he's had problems with people before. Yeah, of course. And you know, there's a picture I tweeted from my party of all this. And somebody thinks that some dope on Twitter is like, these are all the people who conspired. Shut up. Yeah, you really think that's what I do at my time? Conspire with other people? Let's get him fired. You delusional idiot. I know fans don't always know what's going on. I get it. But it's when you come out like you're these authorities on who, and they're so wrong. Dude, if I'm wrong, I'll apologize. I don't give a fuck if you apologize.
You don't have
Just admit you don't know what you're talking about.
Well,
not you, Eric. Thank you for the call.
I bet a lot of the times they probably invest more hours of their day in the show than you do.
Yeah,
they do.
And I before we say anybody else is rude, we should take ownership of the fact that yesterday I called our staff member's mom Mrs. Shitloaf.
Yeah.
So, I mean, we've all done rude things before.
Yeah, we have. But Opie, look, he's had difficulty getting along with people he's worked with. I don't think that's a secret. I don't think that's a secret to anybody. Georgia, Missouri, yes.
Yeah, I think this is a plain conspiracy. They're trying to clear someone out.
Who?
Well, they're looking at the numbers. You know, they're seeing what Chip Chipperson can do, and they're bringing him in. And that's what they're trying to do. It's all profit.
Oh, no.
I don't disagree. I was so fucking pissed he got fired.
Were you?
Fuck yeah.
I bet. Why?
Damn it.
Why was that?
You know.
No, I don't.
Fucking my favorite.
He never liked you.
Yes, he did.
No, he never
loves me.
I don't think so.
He gets me.
I'm quite sure he did not like you.
All right. I don't think it's a conspiracy. All right. Someone in the Bronx. Yes. What's up, Sam? Oh, Sam in the Bronx.
What's up, guys?
Hey.
I was just wondering, what do you think is the percentage, right? What do you think of the odds of Opie landing on the Anthony Cumia network or even a podcast?
I don't know. I have no idea. Again, he and I have not spoken since September of last year through text. He was not here for our last show. He said he had a family issue. Okay, he had a family issue. So I don't know.
I would imagine, though, if you're saying Anthony Cumia Network or a podcast, I think the odds are very high that he ends up doing a show on the internet. Not because I've spoken to him, but because that's what one, I think, would do in that scenario.
I already had an offer at an AM radio station. I heard this before he got fired. I don't know if that's true or not. If it is, good for him. Like, you know what I mean? Like a big
It's only on in the morning? See what I did?
Ah, fuck yeah. See, I don't know what he's going to do. I have no idea what Anthony wants to do or what Opie will do. I know that, personally, I know as of a couple weeks ago, they have not spoken off the air since the firing. I mean, that's what I know. I know that they spoke through text message and they spoke on the air, but they had not spoken off the air since the firing. Because I asked Anthony that at one point.
One more question.
Yeah.
Is there any animosity whatsoever between you guys, you and Sam, and Sherrod and Vic? Like,
no.
Are they allowed?
Zero animosity between Sherrod and Vic and me. I have none. Like I said, I'm the one who suggested those guys for the show. They're just guys I brought on.
I only have animosity with people who talk shit about me.
Yeah.
And they've never said anything negative, so I don't have anything bad to say. And there are people on Twitter, by the way, that are asking about the crew. So I do want to say that everybody is still here. I think Paul's going to work in the comedy department, and he might be able to help us out a little bit.
Yeah, we want him to help us out, too. Yes.
Roland is still the talent booker here. And we found out yesterday that Erock is full-time going to be in charge of the channel. He's going to be the operations manager for the channel. Oh. So I think that there may be instances where Jim and I have some questions about the channel as a whole. And the only Travis is the main guy. He's the boss of this show.
But I can only answer so much.
You can only answer so much. You're not in charge of the channel.
If it's a question about the channel,
who better to answer?
Yes, we may have to bring in at times the person who runs the channel, which is the Nagel.
I believe her. So Erock will be making appearances in an information capacity.
In an information capacity only, and we will respect him as an authority.
Yes.
Who's saying he's going to be here, though, when the show's on?
Troy. You will respect him as an authority.
I'm respecting him as an authority.
He's managing the channel.
Dude, it's day one, Troy. Jeez.
Of course
yes.
he will be here.
He will. Plus, they said he has to stay in jail for a little while longer. Oh, sorry. I mixed him up.
You're confusing
with Eric
Nagel with Brendan Dassey from Making a Murderer, who's gained a considerable amount of weight since being in prison.
Dave in Massachusetts, what's up?
Hey, I just wanted to say when Anthony got fired and Opie was ranting and raving, I don't think anyone but you could have handled it with such honesty and dignity. And
thanks, man.
And that's why I wound up listening to you and Sam, giving you guys a try, and I've come to love the show, and you guys are both actually great interviewers.
Well, thank you. You know, with Anthony, again, my relationship with him was a lot different than it is with Opie at this point. So that was an easier one. Whereas, with Opie and I just have zero relationship, but we have a history. And, I can be honest and tell you, I did want to see the guy fired. I'm not happy he was fired. I really mean that. It's not even me trying to be classy. I just literally don't. It's like he's got a wife, he's got his place, you know what I mean? And he was enjoying himself. Mm-hmm. And there was no reason for me not to want him to enjoy his show and to have fun doing his show. I didn't like some of the behind the scenes shit. The comedians were being given a guilt trip or a hard time if they came on our show.
Yeah.
That's the truth?
Yes, it was.
Oh, you know that?
I was not invited back for the last couple months based on the fact that I continued to do this show.
Yeah, and people thought
it's ironic because I just
you're the only reason anybody knows who I am.
I just found Mike in the last 6 months and started inviting him on.
But that's where the behind the scenes shit that people don't see. So people who think like this one, that I know the fans don't know that stuff, and we can't expect you to know that stuff. Mm. And it was denied. Like, no, I'm not telling guys not to, but we knew it was happening because we would talk to the comedians. So a lot of stuff you guys didn't see. We knew for a fact was happening. I didn't know it was happening with you.
I fully agree, though. I mean, and I said this on last Friday. Somebody called up and they're like, "Oh, is Opie going to get fired?" And I said no because I really didn't think he was going to. And my preference by 1,000,000% was that he not get fired, which is what I said because there's no reason to see a guy lose his gig, and he was having fun and doing a good show. So
I think if anything, this is Lewis's fault.
Louis J. Gomez came on
he's
here.
He's the one that started the entire...
Oh, he is?
He did. He was. He's certainly not a help.
No.
Certainly not a help.
Lewis is never the guy you want to talk reasonably with because he's going to say something obnoxious.
Yeah. I would never go to Luis J. Gomez for advice.
And he's typically either on a small skateboard or rollerblades.
Yeah.
So you can't really have an honest conversation with him.
No. And he's not the brightest. Yeah. Sorry, Lewis. Gary, hello. This is a good question.
Oh, is it me?
Yes, sir.
Oh, hey. What's going on, guys?
Hey.
All right. Revisiting the time when Anthony was let go, would it have been possible for you guys to leave the company, band together with Anthony, and start your own network streamed across the internet, yada, yada?
It might have been at that time, sure, but you have to realize at that time Anthony was just starting his show, and Anthony was doing his show at home.
I think he's asking about when Anthony got fired.
Yeah, I know. So
you guys were under contract.
No, but I mean, for the next couple of months we were. We were only under contract for like 3 more months. That was Anthony got fired in July, August, September, October. We only had 90 more days of contract. The contract wasn't the big issue after that 90 days. It was Anthony was still just started up his network from his house. He had just started it up. So yeah, I wanted to I wanted to work here, and I really I lobbied behind the scenes. You have no idea how many times I was like, we got to try to let's come try to get it. My dream was that Anthony comes back, that it blows over, all right, in 6 months, 8 months, or a year, and he comes back. That was always what I wanted. And then Anthony eventually got a studio in New York. But my goal was to have Anthony rehired here. That was what I wanted.
Okay, well, in the future, say, Sirius XM, Satellite Radio, the industry changes, will you guys consider maybe doing your own thing, going independent?
In a way, but this gig it's an easy gig. You show up, everything's here, you do the gig. I enjoy doing this gig. I'm having fun. Why would I want to leave? There's no reason for me to leave. The only motivating factor to possibly leave would be to perform. I miss performing with Anthony, too. I love having Anthony there. But, I mean, I don't want to leave this show just to fucking, all right, maybe Ant will have me and it will go well. I'm under contract here for 2 years, and I'm enjoying this. Dude. So there's really no motivating factor for me to leave.
Yeah, and I mean, the beauty of it, of the time that we're living in right now, is we could easily go independent if we wanted to. I mean, I do my wrestling podcast independently. It's very easy right now to do that, and I think if we wanted to, we could. But I'm with Jim in the sense that I've been here for as long as I've been here because I like doing shows here. I like the audience that it has. I like the medium. I think it's still really, really great, and I don't think I would go independent unless I had to.
Yeah, unless there was a reason to, or I have 1 more year left after this, a year from October. And, I love doing radio. Part of me still hates getting up and, wants to do something beyond radio. If I can get something picked up, a show, that would be a motivating factor of me leaving. If I actually had a show that was picked up, that was filming, I may leave radio to do that, just to switch it up, because I've been doing this for so long. All right, Gary?
All right, well, let me just close with one thing.
Okay.
All right. So, obviously, we're not in the Opie Anthony days anymore. The show is great. I listen to it every day. When calls run out of steam or they're ending, instead of punching out, we should all say, end of transmission.
Oh, that's good. That's strong.
It is not
That's
good.
strong.
No, it is not strong either.
All right. Thank you, Gary. End of.
Isolate that audio.
Go ahead, do it. Oh, he didn't do it.
Just terrible.
He didn't even do his suggestion.
It's just the pits.
All right, we should break. We do have Seth Rollins coming in.
Yes.
He's promoting a film called Armed Response.
The Architect, the Kingslayer, Seth Rollins.
And we will chat with
Mike
him.
Cannon.
You look very excited.
Seth Rollins is the man.
We'll chat with him for a little while.
Movie.
Yeah, how was it?
It was awesome. It was gory. It's cool.
And again, throughout the day we can talk about this. So whatever question you guys have, call in. We're happy to. If you're one of those people who's going on Twitter and you think you know what you're talking about, and
don't.
But we know you're at work right now.
Yeah.
Call in an hour or try tomorrow morning. We'll talk about this until people are done talking about it.
I'm not coming in here on Saturday to talk about why Opie got fired.
Correction,
okay?
Monday morning.
Oh.
I understand people want to speak about it, and it's a big deal. It's a big deal here at the company. It's a big deal in our lives. So we can't just ignore it and pretend it's not happening. So you're free to ask anything you like. We will be back shortly with Seth Rollins and, of course, Mike Cannon, who we're happy to have. All right, let's try that.
Opie is fired from Sirius. It's so weird, the spiral in this business, the ups and downs,
Mhm.
just the how things fucking end up. I mean, he's the one who started fucking everybody.
Uh-huh.
He's the one who started Anthony. Then he started Norton. Then he started Sam. All of them. And it's so fucking crazy that everybody is. Well, Anthony's not. That these guys have the morning show. He went to the afternoon, and now he's off the afternoon show. Is it self-sabotage? Is it fucking... Who knows what the fuck it is? I remember when... You know what it is, too? People get bored doing what they're doing, but they can't admit they're bored. And I'm not saying this is his case.
Can't relate to that.
No, I'm not saying this is his case, but people do want to change in life, but they can't come right out and go, I'm done with this. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So they'll sabotage it or do whatever they can. And I'm not saying that's this case, but it happens in relationships, it happens in jobs, it happens, careers, whatever. You go, I'm done with this, but I'm so, like they say, you get comfortable being uncomfortable.
Mm-hmm.
So maybe there's a part of him that's just like, enough of this fucking, I've been doing radio forever or whatever. And maybe he does want to move on. Maybe he wants to do something different, So that's why he could be, so defiant against authority. I don't fucking know. All I know is how it's so weird how everything just evolves and rotates and, cycles or whatever. Rotates like cycle, know. Right? Wouldn't you think?
I
mean, he's
you're
done.
Right.
Him, Anthony. I mean, they've done a lot for my career. They've done a lot of positive things. They've done a lot of negative things too. It goes hand in hand. And I've done I've done a lot of positives for them, and I've done negatives for them. Not
You
as
ever
many
heard of
negatives.
that?
What, yin and yang? Yes.
Well, how are you saying it?
I didn't say anything.
Say it.
Yin and yang.
It's not yin and yang.
Yan and yang. What is it?
Yin.
Yin and yang.
Mm-hmm.
Whatever. A lot of people say yin and yang.
See, that's one of the instances where I would have lied to you and said, yes, you're saying it right, because I wouldn't want to hurt your feelings.
No, that's not true. You always try to correct me whenever you can, so you could feel like you're fucking smarter than me when you know you're not. I'm so much smarter.
Well, I don't want the listeners to think I don't know.
Anyhow.
So I got to always be like, okay,
So-
from now on, when you say something wrong, I'll be like, trust me, I know the real thing.
So anyhow, who knows? I'm sure he'll move on. But we're kind of not on speaking terms. I don't know why. I mean, I do know why. Maybe it'll change. There's no reason that you and Lindsay shouldn't be on speaking terms. It's kind of weird. Who knows?
I think we will be.
I think you will be. You guys were good friends. And I think me and him will be talking again. Who the fuck knows? Maybe, maybe not. I mean...
Well, I'm just giving them a little bit of space because I feel like they're going through some...
I've always had...
transition. She doesn't need to be like dealing with me right now.
I've always had all of their backs. All of them. Opie's, Anthony's, and Norton. Throughout... I mean, fucking Norton I've known for... he's best man at our wedding. He flew out to fucking dumb Edmonton.
I know.
So, I'm not going to... I never turn my back on really any of them. So, and look, I guess it sucks. I don't guess. I'm sure it sucks. But I'm sure there's part of him.
He must have another plan.
He's got to have another plan. You don't just fucking...
He's been thinking about this for a while.
Huh?
I'm sure he's been thinking about, they kept saying like, oh, the negotiations are coming up in October. I mean, I'm sure he's been thinking about it. Like, am I going to stay here? What are my other options? What else am I going to do? And he's, I'm sure he's been planning something.
Good.
So maybe he's out of there earlier than he expected. But,
well, look, he's got a place on the fucking beach he can enjoy the rest of the fucking summer. Can you imagine how, if you were financially set and you had a house right on the fucking ocean and you didn't have to fucking worry at least for a couple months to go to work. You could just fucking lay out on the beach and do what the fuck and eat soft shell crabs and fucking grill. It's a pretty good fucking deal.
Mm-hmm.
You know, because I'm sure he couldn't do anything till October anyhow, until his contract's up, right?
Right. Probably, yes.
I mean, I don't know. I don't know how that stuff works because we
never had
we
real
never
jobs.
we didn't. Well, we did have that one night at Sirius.
Yeah, but when they fired us, it was like,
What?
adios amigo, don't come back.
Well,
I sell my fucking pass, bitches.
What's that? Shut up. you know, and that was one of the good things that he helped us set up was My Wife Hates Me, but also too we gave Sirius our podcast for fucking free for what, a year or 2 years.
Right.
You know,
But
so everything
symbiotic though.
What-
It helped us also.
It helped us. It helped them. You know, giving them free fucking content. You know, whatever. You know, to me, it's like, why the fuck being in the middle of when millionaires fight? Like, it's, you know, what the fuck? It's like, I'm out
You
here.
think Jim's a millionaire?
Yes, many times over.
God, why do they always look so stressed out?
The guy shot 1 million hour specials. He's got like 5-hour specials or 4. He's fucking makes a fortune on the road. He's been on radio for fucking over 10 years. He's doing fine. You know, he doesn't have kids. He doesn't have a wife. What's
Wow.
he? What?
We don't know what he's got going on up there in his apartment.
There's no kids. He doesn't even have a dog. So he's doing fine.
I read a thing today
And
that,
he's
that
very-
the government, if you go against the government or something, the FBI, they'll plant like kiddie porn in your computer.
No. Who would you
I
read that?
mean, I read a couple of different things about it.
Get out. How do they plan it? Yeah, they could do
No,
that.
if somebody doesn't like you, they could plant kiddie porn on your computer and you're done.
Well, then you look on your computer and you go, why is this here? And erase it. Right?
I don't know if that's how it works. I mean, maybe it's on there, you don't even know it's on there, and then somebody tips off the FBI, and then they come get your computer, and then,
Ooh.
you know. I'm starting to wonder about this Jared Fogle guy.
What? Maybe he didn't?
Maybe, maybe McDonald's.
No, because he admitted it.
Oh.
Why would McDonald's go after him?
Because he's
A traitor?
pushing
Subway?
Subway.
In my opinion, is not the best subs.
Disgusting.
Have you ever seen some of the fucking meat in there and
They're
stuff?
disgusting.
You don't like it either?
No, but do you know I think it might be illegal to say negative things about meat publicly. I think it might be illegal.
Really?
I'm not even kidding.
We didn't talk about meat.
But wasn't that what happened to Oprah?
I don't fucking know what happened to Oprah.
Remember she was like, don't eat a burger or something, and then they sued her?
Oh, really?
Yeah. It's a very, the meat lobby.
I just said, in my opinion, they're not the best subs. Just Subs in Hillsborough is 10 times better, in my opinion.
Wait,
Just
what's the
Subs.
other one?
In Hillsborough?
Oh, Jersey Subs.
Jersey Mike's.
Oh, Jersey Mike's.
They got good subs,
Yeah, to me, anything that says Jersey in front of it's got to be pretty fucking good.
especially when it comes to subs.
I've like really turned into like pro Jersey.
That's where subs were invented in New
Have you
Jersey.
noticed that lately?
Yes, but subs were invented in New Jersey. Did you know that?
No, but I'm gonna start saying it.
Say it. Subs were invented here. Cheesesteaks were invented in Philly. Yeah. Subs were
Well,
invented in Jersey. Why do you think it's called?
Philly is not New Jersey.
No, that's for cheesesteaks.
Oh, so why'd you bring it up?
I'm just saying where certain things were invented.
Oh,
But subs were invented in Jersey. That's why it's called Jersey Mike's.
basketball was invented in Springfield, Massachusetts.
Yeah, that's where
By
the
a
basketball.
Canadian.
That's where the Basketball Hall of
A
Fame is.
Canadian came up with it.
The Basketball Hall of
Do
Fame.
you know
is there.
that?
Yes, he was at a YMCA with a fucking peach basket or an apple basket, and they were throwing a fucking ball through it. And then Americans came along and turned it into a real sport.
With fucking Norton. What's your name again? Morton. Cumia. Listen, we need an intern for the show.
Opie.
Oh, he needs a gig.
Why don't you call Opie and see
Call
if
Opie
he
right
turn
now.
on
That's
YKWD?
right.
Call him and be like, dude, I heard you got a lot of time.
He's got
Listen.
money. He doesn't need money.
Listen,
Yeah.
you got to understand.
$2 billion.
It's actually I walked in the first time I went on that show. This is where we've come as far as radio. The first time I went on that show, there was a girl that was sticking a wiffle ball bat up her vagina.
The good old days.
They called it the wiffle ball bat challenge.
Yeah.
And there was lines on the wiffle ball bat from other girls.
So that's
how
how you-
far they got it up their pussy.
Sweet.
And when they took it out and it dried off later, the next time I was in, it was different colors.
Whoa, and that's how you met Lauren.
You wouldn't let go of that joke, would you?
I knew it was gold.
So,
Didn't they have the,
I'm
like
gonna
the
let-
50-gallon
I
drum
got the show.
challenge?
Got it.
What?
They had the 50-gallon drum challenge or whatever to fit like a naked girl in a drum. You remember that?
No, I
Is that
don't.
right?
Yeah.
No, that was what Anthony did on his weekends.
But I remember,
Black girls.
and to see that the show, I mean, for Opie to get fired for taking a video of a guy taking a shit seems a little.
Yeah, SiriusXM fucking stinks.
Well, it seems a little like, guys,
He was on the outs.
on XM, he stuck a wiffle ball bat up a girl's pussy.
But he got
I
fired.
saw a guy,
Terrestrial radio.
Eastside Dave took a shit in somebody's hat.
It's a little different than
in the studio.
That's
took
hilarious.
literally shit. Took the guy's hat because he didn't like it
I hope it was
and
Voss's.
shit in it.
But here's the thing: if that guy went and complained to upper management,
Yeah.
and Eastside Dave would have gotten in a lot of trouble for
Well,
it.
Right,
that
right.
here's,
Here's the
but
thing.
wait a minute. Here's the guy
Roland,
He's an employee.
Roland went and said, "Hey, dude, this guy took video of me
Yeah.
in a bathroom. It's illegal. It's an illegal act." He went to upper management and said, "Dude, I don't feel comfortable about this."
Listen, that's not the
it.
thing. That's not the thing.
Is
The
it not
thing
it?
is, the thing is this: is why would one of your soldiers do that?
A
Yeah.
lot of tension.
That's the thing. Why would somebody that wouldn't do it before
Yeah.
all of a sudden do it?
Mm-hmm.
That's the thing.
It's probably build up.
That well, I don't
Lot of
know.
build-up.
I don't
No,
fucking
crazy
know.
build-up.
Yeah.
But it's like that's the thing. Your soldiers, the people that work for you, they got your back. You're in it together. Whatever you do together. You got to kind of know your boundaries with them. You know what I mean? I don't know. I don't know. I mean, look, is it wrong to videotape somebody?
I think it's hilarious.
While they're
Yeah,
taking a
who
shit.
cares?
I think it's hilarious, but it's a risk you take. I'm
It's
just
just
saying
like
the reason
comics.
why. Like, it's not like, here's the
Yeah,
if you're in the studio and everyone's in a gag and everyone's doing something and nobody complains and nobody's hurt and there's no victim.
Yeah.
But if you're talking about looking at the reason why, like, yeah, at that point, yeah, fuck, I'm assuming Roland
Yeah,
didn't
but
like
why-
him
but
anymore.
Maybe that's my thing is like where maybe
My understanding is nobody liked Opie anymore. That was my understanding of this behind the scenes at SiriusXM with like the producers and the tone and fucking. That's the people that
Yeah,
I've spoken to.
it was running on empty over there.
Yeah.
It was.
He
fading
lost
out.
his team a long time ago.
I think so.
Well, I mean, but he put together. He had Sherrod, Vic, and
Carl.
the chef, right?
Yeah.
That was his new team of guys.
You know, the new Patrice, Louis C.K., and Bill Burr. Bill Burr's the chef, I guess. I don't know. What do you
I
want me to say?
guess. I don't know. Tough to say.
Yeah,
yeah.
I don't know. When you took all the funny out of the room with Anthony and Jim, and it became obvious that the funny instincts were kind of with them as well.
Yeah.
You know? I don't know. I shouldn't shit on the
Opie
guy.
always kind of seemed mean-hearted.
Yeah, he
You know,
seems like
mean-spirited.
I
Little.
wouldn't say that.
No?
But I mean, I thought I knew the guy. I guess I don't.
Right.
I think you should offer him a spot on the show, Bob. He might do
Yes,
it.
it'd be nice to have him on a pod.
That'd be great.
I don't think he'd do this show. I still think they're
No pressure
Why
intern
not?
position. You bring me coffee once a week.
Pretty good.
Lauren, can you please introduce our guest who's sitting here just hanging out?
Sure. I'm sorry. Hold on one
You
second.
better not be faking this.
Lauren, can you?
Because if I
I
see you
can't
feeling
fake-
better for Chip Show, I'm getting
I
rid of
can't,
you.
I can't even. I don't think. I
I'm
can't
literally
stay.
getting rid of you.
I don't even think I could.
Lauren, can
Talk about it. I tried to
What
explain it.
we at the beginning too is that he had a crew in there, right?
Yes.
And it was I found out they were getting paid.
Yeah, me too. That hurts.
Which
Bonfire pays.
what?
Bonfire pays.
Bonfire pays
Yeah.
every time.
Yeah.
I don't care about not. Look, I've gone in and done Jim and Sam show without getting paid.
It's not pay.
No, it doesn't. But I don't care because I love Jim and Sam, and they've done a lot for me, and they brought
Also
me.
a bigger platform, so for the road and shit like that.
But no, it's not that. It's that, and I've done Opie show a million times. I've actually lost money because I got to pay $50 to park. I come into Westchester, I got to lose money.
Yeah.
But then when you're sitting there, you find out that someone's getting $7.50 a pop.
Yes.
And I'm actually getting
$750.
That's crazy money. I've never gotten a dime.
I'm getting charged. I'm getting charged. I'm getting charged $50 to do the show.
But you get a free sandwich.
Yeah, but it's like, you know what? I was
They're
like,
really going for Bobby's
heart.
I was a little like, well, wait a minute. It didn't make sense to me. But I understand it because I'll tell you why. Because you're building up a crew that's going to be loyal to your show. I do Bennington's, I do Howard Stern's wrap-up show, I do Jim's, I do whatever show I want, right? But the guys that you're paying are going to do your show.
There's co-hosts, more or less. Like, I mean, they're on every show. That's a different story. If they're on every show...
But you don't think Vic's jumping around?
But it's different, though. If you're on every show and you're a co-host, it doesn't matter. Like, if I pay Zach to co-host my show, he can do whatever the fuck he wants to do, but he's on my show every single time he's my fucking co-host. Yeah. Every time I can depend on him, he's there.
Yeah, I understand that, but it's like, I've been going in there a long time.
Yeah.
I mean, waking up at the crack of fuck. And look, it was an even exchange. You know what I mean? There was a lot of stuff. I got exposure. I was on a great show. It was funny, blah, blah, blah. But it was just like, what the fuck? You know what I mean? I got a kid. I got a fucking house. I got a mortgage. I'd like to, if you at least given the opportunity, like, hey, do you want? But that's just not. That's the way it rolls. After I dealt with that, it was like, all right, I get it. But it was.
You weren't willing to come in every day and be his co-host.
If you for $750 a fucking pop,
you would have done it.
I'd have to do the math, but I might have came in and went and did a couple days.
I would suck Opie's cock for $750 a show. Every show.
Right.
Thanks, Opes. Done.
You made him come.
Yeah, I made him come.
That's pretty good.
I don't know. I don't know. I just didn't know. But then when you find out that people are getting paid, you're like, what the fuck?
Sherrod is making 3 times more than I am at SiriusXM.
Tons of money.
I'm going to throw a bottle through the window of that building.
Not anymore.
You could work it out. Like, let me come in this many times for lower money.
Well,
we can figure something out.
But I think he was trying to maybe he was trying to find a crew.
He had
maybe he was trying to find his new Opie and Anthony. And I guess that's what he did with those 3 guys. Well, I mean, that's how you do it. If you pay people money,
and
they're
one
going
of them still turned his back on him, right?
Who?
Well, no, Roland was the booker and one of the producers.
Roland was a booker,
It's different. And he didn't, I don't think, I think that Roland was just fucking.
Sorry, go ahead.
No, I still think that. It seemed like if you're going to go and do that and complain, you're just done with the guy. You don't like the guy as it is. You just don't do that.
That's my point.
You don't do it.
That's my point, is that it's not the fact that he did it. It's the fact that Roland was like, I felt uncomfortable you doing it. I got to go tell somebody, because I would never do that to anybody.
Yeah. Even somebody I don't like, I wouldn't do that. I would have a conversation with them. I'd be like, dude, delete the fucking video. Don't be an asshole.
Right.
I'm not cool with that shit.
Yeah.
That's it,
Yeah, but Roland was getting like stress rashes. He was fucking miserable.
Yeah, I mean, look, Roland's got a stressful job as it is.
Totally.
And it's just all, but now it's over. I mean, you don't have to worry about any of it. I mean, he's saying that he's got something. Someone said that Sherrod's got a TV network.
Who knows? Network.
Yeah.
Network.
I swear to God.
Oxygen?
Or something. He's got some TV deal that he's plugging Opie into and the chef into, and they're going to do something. So who knows?
Great.
Look, man, who knows? It sounded like when I listened to the show, they were having a fucking good time with those 3 guys.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, so I don't give a fuck. If you're having a good time, have a good time.
Have a ball, but
I
pay
can't
be up front.
I can't not. If the wrap-up show calls me, I have.
Of
Are you
course.
crazy? I love those. I had a blast with those guys. And of Jim and Sam, I have to do that show. Bennington, I love Bennington.
The best.
He's the best.
$750 a show. I wouldn't do any of the other shows.
That's crazy.
I really wouldn't. If they offered you $750 a show, they said, dude, but you can only go on Opie's. The only radio show at SiriusXM you're allowed to do. $750 a show. We're gonna have you in 2-3 times a week. Promote whatever you want. Would you do it?
Totally.
100%. Why not?
That's a lot of money.
We can't
That
bitch
adds
about
up.
that. Yeah, fuck that.
I would go to the other shows and go, look, I can't go on your show.
Unless
I have
you pay
to
me.
I
$850.
have a fucking house. I got a mortgage. I got a kid, and I have to do this. This is business. This is not personal.
Yes.
I would.
Of course, you tell them.
I would have that fucking.
I might do it for less.
Yeah, maybe.
I might, yeah.
But here's the thing about me, that I had to find that out through somebody let it out of the can.
Yes.
I didn't find out, hey, man, you know what I mean? Like,
that's what hurt.
I felt like I was, I mean, as far as I was concerned, I was always I was good on that show.
Mm-hmm.
I broke my knee, fucking Billy the Bass Man, you know what, dude, boom, all this horse shit that I've done on that show.
Maybe it's a game of telephone and they're not getting paid $750. Maybe Opie's charging them $750 and it just got to you and it was misconstrued.
Wait, what do you mean?
I have no.
Play the farts
I was
again.
letting him.
That was complicated.
He was playing the farts. I don't know what you mean. He's trying to be funny, but
Just comes, you know, game of telephone, how it changes the message.
But why would
Where's
they,
the bandana? Just give it to me.
Why
It's,
would
it's
people-
not a big
I
deal.
don't want you to.
Yeah, let Erock in. Erock, we understand you have a new position?
Yeah, so I'm told.
And what is that?
Running the channel that I used to be on.
Now, what is that job called?
They have
Are
me
you a
as
program?
operations director or something
Operations director. That's a great title.
like that. I think it's one of those titles they give you in lieu of, we'll give you that title and then
Did
maybe
you get a
we'll give
little
you
bump
something.
up in money?
That's all being discussed this week.
Smart.
And
Now,
paper.
discussing
Make the coin.
my show stuff too.
Whoa! So you
So-
said you could take
Heard it here
afternoons?
first.
I definitely could take afternoons.
Yeah.
I don't think they would give that to me, and I
Right.
wouldn't ask for that. But if it was offered, yes, in a heartbeat.
Oh, wow. I thought maybe you would be loyal.
In fact, you can go late. There's nothing else coming in here, so I think the Raw Dog audience would like that.
Now, now when you're the operations manager, right? What do you know what your job's going to be yet?
Fixing everything that fucks up, pretty much. So
okay.
shows screw up, promos, all the technical
Jim
end
and
of it.
Sam, those two lazy bastards. You're like, hey, where are the promos, boys?
Can't run late. Ellis has got to start at 11.
All right, that's the kind of stuff you're into.
Interesting. Yeah.
And do you know what you're going to do with that afternoon spot?
Not yet. No, that's up higher than me right now.
Now, today, what are they rerunning?
Jim and Sam.
Jim and Sam.
3 p.m. over on Channel 103.
Sweet.
So that's what it's going to be for a while until we decide differently.
I thought you were going to run that L.A. show.
Cumia and Rich?
Yeah.
Run them out? I don't know.
Oh, you're not a fan?
No, I like them. They're good
Cumia
guys.
and Rich I used to watch every night on New York's...
SNY. Yeah, the Mex channel.
I would eat dinner with them, and I would laugh every night.
Yeah, they're good dudes.
Yeah. But you don't think that was just a temporary fit?
I honestly,
Or maybe
I
it's a
don't
possibility.
know. I would love to move them up, and then I'll take the nighttime slot. But
not a bad idea, right?
No, if anybody wants to push for that, I'm willing to do
You're
so.
the guy.
You're
You're the
operations
manager.
Yes, but there's people higher than me that have to make those decisions.
But now
I have to execute them.
Now Wiki answers to you.
Yeah, you're head of operations.
That's fun. I sent them for a coffee.
Who gave you the? Did you get the call?
No, I had to come in the next day.
Really?
Yeah.
See, I got a call over break, and I got a call from someone who has never called me before in his life. So I look at that. I was actually seeing Baby Driver, so I got that thing, and I go,
good movie, by the way.
Oh yeah, I really enjoyed it. Really enjoyed it. So I'm like, I guess Wiki's fired. That's what the call I'm getting. Because normally
like,
you
why
would
would
think
this guy call
Wiki.
me?
Yeah,
Yeah.
normally Wiki calls me.
Right.
And this is like, I know this is an odd call, but this is time sensitive, and can you call me back? And I'm like, oh shit, Wiki's out. And I immediately started feeling bad. Because I'm like, unlike Opie, he'll never work again. You know, he's never going to get another job. Are you going to keep the same name of the...
It's Eric Nagel show?
No, of the... Look, I'm talking about your operations managers.
Oh, yeah, that job. Yeah, as far as I know. Like, not too much is going to change. with that
How
channel.
long were you and Ope together?
Well, I was at NEW for a short time, but with the radio chick. And she got fired 2 or 3 times. So as soon as I got hired, I was blown out. But I guess since 2004, full time.
2004 when they came back here. So that's a lot of years.
Yeah.
It was a hell of a run this time.
13 years.
People don't realize how short the run was at NEW.
Mm-hmm.
You know, because it's so legendary.
Yeah,
But those-
98 to 2002. Yeah.
So, now we'll look at it this way. Are you ready to jump with whatever his next deal is? People want to know.
With his next deal?
Will you
Probably not.
But maybe. That possibility is there.
No, I don't think so. I think it's time to...
Have you guys talked?
Move on. Nope. Not at all.
Have you and Wiki talked?
Yes.
Good.
many times.
So he's not fired.
He might be. They just haven't, like Earl, they don't change the key and he just loiters, He's doing something.
Yeah. Well, that's, like I said, it doesn't feel as dramatic as it used to because somebody can just be on the air, even if it's on the internet now, immediately.
I think I heard you talking about that earlier. The old firings were a really big deal because hosts and shows never got a chance to say goodbye to their audience.
Right.
But outside of whatever legal obligations where you can't talk, if they're paying you to under your contract or something like that. But once that's done or once all that stuff's out of the way, you can start a podcast right away and be right there.
But who's even to say that you just can't go on social media and it's a video and you're going, hey guys, I can't say what I'm doing. I'm just here on social media. You know what I mean? Like there's no way to know whether that is that broadcasting. We don't even know. And you don't know whether he's kept till October or whatever they're talking, right? You don't know anything about that.
I know some, but nothing I can.
I understand. You're out, you're a fucking, it's the t-shirts versus the suits, dude. You switch sides. I get completely who you are now. So, Chris,
I'm still skins.
You know what? That's funny. There's a Ron Bennington moment I remembered where one time I wore a company shirt and Ron was coming in and he just looks at me, he looks up and down and goes, way to fly the team colors, bro. Smacks me on the back and just walks in. I was like, all right, gotta get rid of this shirt. And I never did it again.
I never know how the things that I say affect people. But I remember one time Keith the Cop told me that he sent me a picture from Chicago of him eating a filet mignon, and I go right back, good girl steak. And he said it ruined his meal, and he never ordered it from years later. And then he saw me order a filet for lunch. He's like, yeah, see? And like he thought he caught me. I go, I don't understand what you're talking about. Just a cut of steak. I don't feel like eating a lot.
It's a very good cut.
But I had to take him at his word that I said something, but I didn't know that he would carry it around like that. I want to get you a nice Sirius XM shirt, too.
No,
as a way of saying
those days are gone. These are gone.
Who do you answer to now, your new position?
Wiki and one other higher up.
Wiki don't lose that number. You don't want to call nobody else. So are you going to Montreal this year?
No, I'm not. I'm doing San Diego next week. And then the week after, for Comic-Con, doing my show out there. And then the week after that, I'm down in Miami for Florida SuperCon doing my show from down there.
Now, who's paying for you to go to those places?
Part the company, part they fly me out there to do these cons.
Oh, that's amazing. Cool. That's amazing.
You set up, do the interviews, you say hi to people, and they cover the rest.
It's a fun job, isn't it?
It is. That's why I never understand when people have problems doing this job.
It's a veiled talk to Opie right now.
It could be to anybody,
But is there something you'd like to say?
No, I'm still here, so I'm not giving you the 3-word sentence. I'm good. I'm all good.
That was very sweet when he put that up, though. I love that radio tradition.
Yeah, it's a good one.
It's one of the best of all time, Psycho Mark.
Yep.
But yeah, it just doesn't feel like you have to worry about anyone disappearing like the old days.
No, unless they choose to disappear.
Yes, it would be up to them.
Richard Simmons disappeared, and they had a podcast and a full investigation trying to find out where he was, and he's just like, I don't want to do this anymore.
Do you think that'll happen with Ope?
No.
Okay.
No.
By the way, how long were you with Sherrod?
With Sherrod?
Yeah. You and Sherrod working together, and how was your relationship with him?
I don't know, whenever Sherrod started showing up. So maybe 6 months?
Not bad.
Something like that.
Not a bad run. Is there something you like to say to Sherrod since he called you?
Nope, no, good. I read the article.
The most recent one with Jeffrey Guria?
Yep. One incredible source. And yeah, whatever they're going to do, best of luck to them.
Yeah, of course. Best of luck to all of us.
Yeah.
We're all weirdly like I said, when it used to be just terrestrial radio, it had a certain feel about it.
Mm-hmm.
But now who's to say what platform is...
Certain feel of doom and danger.
Sure.
Because it was always like at any moment, it always felt like, that knife is going to drop right into you and your career could be done.
Oh, yeah. That was always part of the fun, though. That was the excitement. That's why you felt like you were alive. But people would say to me, like, why do you still do this on Sirius XM when you do podcasting? I go, well, first of all, I like having medical insurance.
That's a perk. Do I have a guess?
And yes, the booking department is unbelievable.
It's great.
This got brought up. Would you do an AMA for Reddit?
No, I've already been
asked.
Yeah. I'm like, who are you? Are you with Reddit?
Ask some things, not everything.
Ask me some things. Ask me a couple things.
No, I'm live this Saturday at 6 p.m. for my show.
Will you take calls?
I'll take calls.
Yeah.
And we'll see what we can talk about.
Is there anything that's off limits? Is the word poop off limits?
No. Is that a word that can come up?
I'm not listening.
No, I will not censor individual words.
Yeah. I know a caller who has a question. He's in Long Island Sound right now.
By the way, did you see Ant go after AV Club?
No, I didn't see that.
I did.
Yeah. And he personalized it so much. And, you know what I mean? It was, and the thing was very weird. I mean, it was a very, you know that they didn't have any, and they're like, we don't know whether this was a prank or a perverted thing, but either way.
Right.
Ooh. Well, first of all, no one believed it was a perversion. You know what I mean?
That's hilarious.
These came up with it themselves. Yeah. Everyone
This is some sort of a kink, clearly.
Yes. And I mean, I got news for you. I've been going into men's rooms since I was a child. I don't run into a lot of perverted people there.
No.
And I know people worry about that in our new transgender world.
They were
but
saying
no.
it doesn't really come up.
Guys are in and out.
They don't even like holding the door if you're walking in or walking out. They just pretend you're not right behind.
Right. And I should also if somebody's going in there to do something perverted, the laws of just a simple sign does not stop them. Like if a man wants to go in to do a woman's room and do something perverted, they're not like, that sign really stopped me. I was thinking about doing something weird, but
There's a bit I've been doing since school. If a friend of mine's heading into a stall, I act like I'm right behind him.
Right.
They're both funny. And then with Fez, when he used to be at the urinal, I would either A, pull his shirt up as high as I could, which would immediately stop his peeing because he's pee shy.
it stopped the stream right there.
Or pour some water down his back. I go, oh, that feels good. And that would also stop him from peeing. But in this world that we work in today, people would see that as a perversion.
Yes.
Rather than one buddy just trying to make another one incontinent.
Like friends do.
Yes. Like friends are apt to do. Did you feel like it would go this far?
I wasn't sure, actually.
Because it was all in the clear, right? For a
No.
while until Paul... Oh, was it?
No.
Until the argument.
No, I mean, I don't know what I can talk about
You
that.
don't have to talk
but,
about anything. You can lie.
It wasn't like instant.
Make it up.
You know? So.
Say shit.
What's that, Chris?
Just make shit up.
Because
He
I
likes to
said
do a little thing under.
Because I said that, and
So
then
he
he
likes to say a
agreed
little
with me.
Well,
I just got a message that Pit Talk's running late. That was distracted me.
He's like the Goodfellas character that says everything twice.
Yeah.
Yeah, the papers.
Now, you tried to be, at one point in your life, you tried to go corporate and they wouldn't have you.
No, God, no.
What was the big problem for you?
Slovenliness and
That's horrible.
and freakouts, like uncontrollable emotions.
Right.
I have to say this. My feelings were hurt a little bit because I felt like, but now I look back on it, you had every right to do that.
Yeah.
But I was just like, I wasn't talking to a Mike who was going corporate. I was just like, was that what you want to
But
do?
didn't
Go
you know that
corporate?
he'd never be able to just with his language?
I said
That's just a cursing.
There's no way that he could end up at a decent meeting that said, where he could say, they're trying to fuck me in my dick hole.
He can't even get through an elevator ride with being
Look at my dick hole that's fucking it right now.
Could you picture him in a sweater vest and designer glasses?
Yeah, I couldn't.
Yeah, that would have gone badly.
So you going overtime here?
Well, I just got a note that Pit Doc is still in L.A. Chris books Jay Moore today. Jay Moore never got on a plane. He stayed in L.A. He lied to you, Chris.
I know.
And then you lied to us.
I didn't think I was lying to you.
What you did today is a fireable offense.
I wear a special dress for Jay Moore. I was all excited.
Did you get him on the phone?
Who is the...
To my face all night.
Who is the... Yeah, did you at least get him on the phone to talk to us?
No, well, the ear infection is...
Oh, so he can't hear.
touch a phone. Who is the Erock of Raw Dog?
I think that's... Oh, it's not Paul now.
Yep.
Maybe it's Paul.
It's Paul? How would you have to think? You got the fucking thing from
Paul. Paul is the Erock of.
But how did you find out?
And that's his official title is Erock of Raw Dog?
So why would you be like, I think
it's on his business card.
Sent out a thing where then Jack was. Well, Jack had written, "Hey, this is great news for the comedy department." But then he didn't send it to our show, and then Don forwarded that. Said Jack wanted you to know this.
Seems like
But I'm
he
like,
didn't.
Jack has my email address.
Seems like Jack tried to keep this from us.
He's gonna fucking get that Bennington show in line. Or they're next to say the goddamn door.
I think that Jack knew that you were gunning for that position, so he didn't want to set you.
I would have loved it. I'll tell you why. I love linking comedy bits together on a computer.
It's one of your many passions.
What's Disco Dan doing? He's staying in his same position?
I believe he's still, yeah.
So all these guys have gone past you like a shot.
I know.
Or do you consider being the producer of a show a better fit?
I think it works better for me, and also it's not just one show; it's multiple shows. So I'm very proud of it. I'm very proud of it.
You do have like a bouquet of shows that you produce.
I smell them every day.
Yeah.
He smells them every day. Would you say you have a playsetter?
Well, you would think with the pride that you have that Spencer would have picked you to produce his segment
I know.
and not Vito.
Because you've been doing it longer. Once again, passed up.
Well, I'm going to go out and have a smoke until Pit Doc gets here.
Sounds great.
And I'll be peeing.
I think I'll join you for that cigarette.
Because you can't join me.
You know that's what he wanted to say.
No, no, Eric.
You'll be the next.
Oh, God.
All right. That's it for us.
Yes, well, listen, we all know the news that Opie got fired.
Like a motherfucker.
He got fired. He got so fired that me and Carl got fired just from his firing.
Friendly fire.
He was so fired, we got fired.
Yeah.
I guess.
You got to be an asshole to fire a black guy and a Spanish guy the same day.
Oh, what races they have in that front. Oh,
shit.
They must really just hate minorities,
All
huh,
I-
Bonnie?
They fired a white guy first and foremost.
Yeah.
He's 1% sub-Saharan.
He is. We found that out.
He did a thing on for Christmas. They gave him Ancestry.com.
He's less than 1% South-Saharan African.
Is Ancestry.com where you send your DNA so they can tell you if you're unfuckable?
That's exactly what it is.
Your kid's gonna be a dragon.
It's like
you're a monster. It turns out.
You can only fuck Slavs.
If you have a child that's gonna have gills, do what you want with that information.
But Opie was supposed to be here today, but the white man stepped in just like always.
Yes.
Well, his agent flew in today from L.A. I mean, we got so much traction on that shit yesterday.
Oh, my God. Wait. The big news is that Opie was supposed to be here.
Whoa, Bonnie. Whoa, Bonnie.
Bonnie, you heard it here first.
Where's
What happened?
Metzger? What's
He's
going
at dinner
on?
right now. Well, right now, Opie's at dinner right now with his agent.
Yeah.
Does he go back to Worcester?
Shit is going down.
Okay, so that's good news. His agent is still taking his calls,
That's
right?
right. Well, he
We're
flew in.
seeing
No,
this
he
as-
flew in.
We got a big. There's
He
a
flew
big
in
deal
today.
brewing.
Yeah, he flew
Oh,
in
there's
today.
there's a big deal brewing.
Oh.
Was this not predictable when he lost the channel?
Yes.
Was this the logical next step?
I
Because he
think-
lost the channel a while back.
I
right?
just thought they just didn't
I
like
think
him.
this was predictable. It started. I mean, you could start seeing it maybe 2001, 2.
Are the whites
There
gonna
were
be
some
okay?
flags.
There was some
He'll be
flags.
Oh, he'll be
beginning
fine.
of the.
But yeah, he's
Wow.
at dinner right now. They're having a power dinner and going over some shit.
Yeah, they're all eating kale salads and cranking out the
At
grilled
the
chicken.
Olive Garden?
No,
Yeah.
well,
They're
depends
on a
who's
budget
paying.
now, right?
Depends who's paying.
That's right. They're just as rich as always.
Oh my God, they never lose money.
Yeah, but he got out because your boy got him set up.
That was so fucking crazy. And I saw it happening, and I was like, Opie, something's wrong here.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And Opie's like, dude, I don't understand why.
Can you guys tell me in
Go ahead.
terms of like somebody who doesn't know what's going on, like using full sentences?
Like what you know? Well, you know
Tell me
most
where to
of it.
start, Bonnie. And I'll walk
Okay,
you through
what
it.
happened? When did it all start going downhill? Because all I know is some weird tweets that I saw. Like at one point, I saw Opie tweet, "It's no worse than any other prank we've ever played."
Okay.
Yeah, 'cause
So
I'm
first
just
of all,
in the
there
bathroom.
was no prank.
There was
Okay.
no prank.
What happened was after the show, we all go pee at the same time,
Right.
right? So
One person was saying he had to take a shit the whole time.
Right.
As usual.
Right. But Roland was already in the bathroom.
He always
Sounds
says
like a
that.
great place to work.
So I'm.
Who's the shitter?
Well, you gotta.
Who's the famous shitter?
So listen. So Roland, we walk into the bathroom.
Yes.
Roland's already in the bathroom. He's in a stall.
Right.
So we're taking a piss, and
So
he
when
had-
a guy's in a stall,
it's about shitting.
does that mean they're shitting for sure?
If you're in your house, it could be other things.
They
but
could be
if,
pee shy. Some guys
could-
don't
Yeah.
like to stand next to another
that
guy.
true?
I mean, I don't relate to that because I like to get a look.
Because you
but-
have a huge
You like to go
cock.
a little peeky peek?
Who's got the stronger stream? You know what I mean?
I got a thick string.
You're competitive.
Mine's like the Hudson River.
I get off to it.
on a side, I used to work at a restaurant, and we used to walk 2 blocks to Morimoto's on 11th Avenue because they had the Japanese toilets with the massage and the heat just to pee. Oh my god, it was so good.
Really?
30-minute pee break. The thing just massages you and
You
cleans your
masturbate
body.
and pee at the
It's
same
so
time?
Good.
This is how you know that
Sounds
race
nice.
is not
Yeah.
about skin color.
Why's that?
That's
Because
a
that's
boinking,
white.
right?
That's pretty white. The Japanese are white. You're white.
Yeah, I like white. I can get to go to country club. My kids go to a nice pool.
Yeah, you're white.
Like everyone just gets boiled down into the
I lived in
three,
Canada.
right?
They just
Yeah,
thought I had a tan in Canada. He's
That's-
always tan.
So there's a white dude.
So what happened is Roland
Is in the
announces
bathroom.
himself. He
So you
announces
say the
himself.
name? Can we say? Can we? All right,
Shitting. He's shitting.
Well, you're
Roland was
talking
shitting.
about it, so
Yeah, go.
who listens?
Everybody poos.
No one.
No, we will use the name for now on. It doesn't matter.
I want to hit Bonnie so bad.
So the kid announces himself in the bathroom, right? He goes, "Hey, whatever," and then he starts making jokes that he's pooing and whatever. We start laughing. So
Right.
Opie, I don't know what he does. He's like, "Oh, whatever." I didn't see the video or anything, but he says that he filmed him going up top and went over the.
Went
stall.
over the stall and filmed.
I didn't see it myself, so I can't.
Everybody
can't say
laughed.
So he made
Everybody
a-
was laughing.
He made a revenge porn.
It wasn't even that.
Oh
it was,
my God.
It was just
That's illegal in all the states.
everybody laughing, and then
That would be
Opie's
so
like,
much
"Can
worse
I
than
put
revenge
it up?" And he
porn.
said no, and he said, and I thought that was the end of it.
Yeah.
And we all was like, "Of course, don't put that up. It's just for us. That's
Yeah,
funny."
we were just joking, and then
It's for your
this
We all
personal
laughed.
masturbation.
this kid went
Yes.
to HR.
I pulled off two
Who,
things.
not
told H-
Roland.
Yeah.
Two gooey goos. I
Roland
call it
went
a
to
Google.
HR?
Yes.
I don't think he'd
Oh,
do that.
Yeah.
No, he's like a
We're literally in
loyal.
podcasts right now. We're in a
It
race
was
war
weird to me
podcast.
because when we were walking around the hallways,
Well, yeah.
it's like this dude, Carl and him, they were like friends. Like he stayed at Carl's house.
He
And
celebrated
he wouldn't even
Christmas.
speak to him like the week before all this shit went down.
To
Like in the
who?
hallways. Weird.
So listen to this, Bonnie. So Vic,
Weird.
Vic and
But he
him.
didn't like getting videotaped taking a shit. That's why he's mad, right?
Right.
And that's why he goes to HR.
That's what he says.
But I can sort of see
Yeah, I can
being
understand it
pissed
too.
about
But
we can
somebody
deal with
was
it.
going to post it.
It's loaded. It wasn't about that. It was something else brewing before that shit went down. That was just they used that, but they pretending like
That was
they
a literal plot line on this
Is
season of
Jim
Veep.
Norton behind this in any way?
Jim Norton can give a fuck, man.
Where
He
was
doesn't
Jimmy
care.
masturbating? in
Jim
all
Norton's
this?
head was right under Roland's ass.
Jimmy likes to help.
He's a good dude, man. So I just.
It was weird though.
So the
just to
next
see they
the next
relationship go
couple
like that.
days, yeah. So the next
He was
couple
at his
days,
house for Christmas.
So I had a show with him called Food Court, where I brought in all my Food Network friends and stuff, and I was doing the show for 3 years.
This is a podcast you're talking
No,
about?
this
No,
is
radio
a show
show on Sirius.
on Sirius
Oh, a
XM.
radio show on Sirius.
And Sirius XM wanted nothing to do with the show, right? So we were on like 9 o'clock in the morning, 2 in the morning, whatever. But I kept going for 3 years, and I bankrolled the whole show. I would pay for the car service to bring in the guests, and you name it.
What about Sirius?
They wouldn't give up. They didn't give a fuck.
Why? See, they're such fucking
Yeah.
pricks.
Oh,
because
you have no idea how pissed
I
I
had
am.
a show on there too once.
And what happened?
Well, when the shakeup happened from Opie going from morning to afternoon,
Right.
all his shows, your show too.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, but then he brought you back into the fold.
Well, you know. Yeah, Race Wars was on Sirius, and we left after the afternoon thing. But everybody on the
What
staff
occasioned
shows
that? So
they-
that's where I'm confused as an outsider as well. Like, why did he lose the channel first?
That is the murkiest, brackish thing. I honestly can't answer it. Not answer it and be right. I mean, I could be like a Twitter guy. Cause the fucking Opie or do something stupid.
He
but
just wasn't fucking the right people.
That's always the case.
That's always the case. That
That's
always
why I
blows
come in
it.
giving hand jobs and blow jobs. I don't care who you are.
turn everything-
Who do you
Get
have
that
to
thing
blow?
out.
Never an
Cohen?
idle
I'll
hand,
do it.
Sherrod.
Never.
No idle holes is what we say.
It's the devil's playpen.
When you don't know the truth, turn it into a Latin novella. And it'll fucking the truth will come out.
But in any case, at that time, Opie left the whatever, I don't know what time it starts, 7 a.m. show
Right.
to go to the 3
Right.
p.m. show in
Right.
the afternoon, right? All his shows get taken off. Now Jim Norton and Sam Roberts, that little fucking mess.
Is that the guy with the hair?
Do you not like him?
Sam Roberts. Well, we've had our ups and downs.
Really?
I kind of forgave him. But I thought he was the reason I got my show taken off.
Oh, why you think that?
Things, and I think he knew stuff that he didn't tell me beforehand. Which
Well,
pissed
anyone
me
that's
off,
going to
too.
work there is going to know stuff that you don't know. I mean,
True, but you could
Sam
have given me a.
Sam is like, he was producing a lot of shit back there. Plus,
And he
Sam
didn't
had a
apologize.
show all by. They put that kid all the way like at night. He had a show at night, the Sam Roberts show.
Yeah, they went
So
over
he was
it
in
after.
the
was a
studio.
cool show.
The kid grinded it out. He was there a lot, so you get to hear a lot of shit. What makes me laugh is, you know, when you guys lost your show, the only two shows that lasted were mine, the Food Court, and Erock show.
What about Dr. Steve?
Dr. Steve survived.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, you do
about
the math,
10 or
guys.
15. About 10 or 15 shows.
My show
Something is afoot.
my show survived because I was bankrolling it, and Sirius, $1 billion company, loved that some Spanish chef was paying for their guests to come to the radio.
Well, I think, yeah, they're.
Disgusting.
What? That's so gross.
So gross.
They just didn't want to pay anybody anything.
Oh, and they're so
No.
greasy, those executives.
Because that means
there.
they're paying Opie.
They're not even like real, like
They
you know, like
paying
you watch Mad
CERN a
Men and
lot.
you see like the
Oh,
really like
that's
the
right.
power brokers.
That's the money.
Like they're so dumpy.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like I'm like, wow, you're an executive at radio.
Me and
That's-
Tommy have a type, so it's not that gross.
They sound kind of hot. Can you get us a meeting?
Are they single and how
You
greasy?
can.
I'm so lonely.
You can't. You want to work there? Go talk shit about somebody's show, and then they'll give you a show.
Which show? This one? I'll start here.
So many things to say.
Yeah. So back to that thing. So then, that first show that we came back was like 3 days after that video, and I go, Sherrod, we just walked by the office, and usually Roland is sitting there, and everybody else, and the office was empty, and I'm like, oh, this is bad. I know I've seen this before.
Right.
First day goes by, second day of the show, nobody. I'm like, something's going on. So I text Roland. I said, what's going on, man? What's going on with us? What's going on with our show? And I text him, I don't give a fuck about the Opie thing, bro. What is going on with the show that I've been doing for 3 years?
Right.
That I've missed birthdays and fucking weddings and shit. And
Yeah.
he's like, no, everything's good. Everything's good. And I'm like, all right. So then I catch him in the hallway, and I'm like, and then he can't get away from me. You know what I mean?
Right,
Because
right.
I'm very confrontational. Because I'm not a beta radio guy. You
Oh,
know what I
and he
mean?
couldn't get away from you because
you like a
you would not
psychopath?
I'm a little,
allow.
yeah, a little bit. I'm a psycho chef.
I didn't understand.
So I'm like, cousin, what
Stop
the
with the
fuck?
girl laughing.
I'm like, what's going on? And then
I'm big and I'm a boy.
and then I said, Roland, what's going on? And he said to me,
Is that your dick dog?
wow. And then Rolly Roll said to me, I said in the hallway, I said, what's going on? And he said to me, no, the bosses were looking over Twitter over the weekend, and they saw Opie tweet something about the video. And I said, okay. And I walk away and I go, that motherfucker just lied to me. Like, I know if there's one thing the bosses at Sears are doing in the Hamptons isn't going over. So then I'm like, holy shit, this kid's fake newsing this whole thing. Like, and then I knew, at that second, I knew I was dead. You know what I mean?
Well,
Because
but why
when
did
someone that you're
Opie
boys
say
with,
it was a prank if it wasn't a prank?
it was a prank.
Oh, it was a prank.
It was funny. We were just
It wasn't
joking.
really like a planned prank. I
It
mean,
was-
we just
no,
paying and he took a
we're
picture
all
and that's it.
joking. I mean, you have to understand that we're together the whole time, making fun of each other,
Right.
back and forth.
He
Dude,
Frito'd
It wasn't
you.
like a prank like, oh, Roland don't know we put snakes in the toilet.
Right.
Let's see if they bite his ass.
know?
That's a prank.
That'd be pretty funny.
Like I'm in the urinal and I hear.
But you weren't. But he wasn't gonna do anything.
No,
with the-
No. Roland's it's irrelevant to the show. It didn't even make sense. It didn't even match anything. There was nothing going on.
Oh.
It was just
I
stupid
said-
shit.
Even right away, I was like, you would never
Is he a
post that.
comic,
Why would you
Roland?
post that anyway? That's just for
No.
us to laugh and we buddies, and then you put it away.
Right.
What is
Wait,
he?
was it posted or was it not
No,
posted?
never.
Oh.
Nobody even saw this shit.
You did.
Yeah, I did.
Is Roland a Jew? Why is this so? Like, why did this go to HR right away?
That's a good question.
But maybe he thought it was. I would be scared it would get posted.
But talk.
No.
Say something.
No, I wouldn't
you
be
say?
scared. Not the way that we said in the bathroom, no, don't post that. Of course, don't post it. We said that in the bathroom. Everybody was right there.
Right.
And we laughed, and I thought it was done right there. It wasn't even a big thing.
Oh, it was
Out of all the things these motherfuckers did throughout the years.
Right. Can you give us like top 3?
I don't know. Then they stomp on somebody's cake and fucking
comes
break
up a lot.
CDs with bats.
Oh, when they did that guy's pinball machine.
And the thing is, they had a picture of Norton like 9 years ago. He was in the bathroom on a toilet, and his penis was showing. And they put a picture of his head, his face on his penis, and put it on online, and it was nothing.
Right.
That was penis.
Well, that's
on his toilet, same way.
That's the only way Jimmy can get off, so it's helping.
But is that because he's a comic and he gets it? Who is this
Maybe.
Roland guy? I don't know. What is he?
He's not a comic.
He's not a comic. That's true. But
That's
he
not.
was like part. It's like the crew. They gotta have a crew there. It's like everybody has a crew, just like Stern got his crew. It's like everybody's not a comic there, but they always
You guys
do
have
shit
to
to each
always
other.
be exactly like Stern.
Yes.
I mean, come on.
I mean, that's what our money is, right?
Maybe you don't.
Stern's very
like him?
wealthy. I would like to be
I like
everything
if you make
Stern.
fun of
I do not hate on
Should I
successful
say Imus?
people.
No, he's also aging really well.
He
looks
is,
great.
right?
Who's
Yeah.
Stern?
Yeah,
He's
whatever
had a
he's
tweakle,
doing.
a little tweakly tweak.
Oh,
Yeah,
of
he
course he
did.
does.
Yeah.
But the good stuff, not like the Meg Ryan stuff.
No, he got like rich white
Why
people
did
stuff.
Why did the big celebrities who are super rich get?
Karen explained it to me. She had a
Bad.
bad lip implant.
They're
Don't do lip
dysmorphic.
implants.
People get dysmorphic, and I think it's like a slippery slope
Yeah.
of you do a little and you look great, and it's like anorexia. Like you lose weight, and everybody's like, "You look so good," and you
I
look
like
so
more.
thin, and you're like, "I'll never eat." Like, do you know what I mean? Like, I
You
think
want more of that?
I've never felt that.
Yeah.
That's fair.
It's not as common for guys, but like every once in a while, there's like a Billy Crystal or a Joe Biden.
What do
But
you
it just
mean?
goes too far.
Oh, with the face
With
shit.
the face,
Joey?
with the face. Joe Biden.
My
come
Joey?
on. Yeah, come on.
Why
Come
didn't
on.
they look all right? I mean,
He's blinking his chin right now. It's horrible.
he got a little
But
tight
don't they
around
have people to tell them?
No, money,
love
right?
that.
Money. I thought
Who's
money
gonna
was
tell
money
you?
equals so much yes.
But if you got all your own money and nobody paying for it, they can tell you all you want. You can be like this, I'm going to get one more little thing. And then after that, one more, turn this that way.
You know what? I think it means that you're not fucking someone that you like to chill with. You're fucking someone who's like a prize for you, because that person's not going to tell you no. But if it's your friend you hang out with, they're going to be like, your nose looks insane.
Yes,
Do you
it's
know
like
what I
your
mean?
face
Put
like
more
a,
nose on that
a
nose.
bat catcher's mitt. It's ridiculous.
I hope I don't have friends like that.
A few things transpiring over the course of said vacation. Opie gets the boot. Opie, you might remember him from the Opie and Anthony program. I sure do. Yeah. Oh, my God. 3 years ago, around the same time, I got fired from SiriusXM. And then, lo and behold, pretty much within a day, it was, right? It wasn't like a day. 3 years later, he gets the boot, gets fired. There's all kinds of yapping going on about this. Greg Opie Hughes. There it is. God. Oh, he hates that. Fucking hates that. The in quotes Opie Hughes. I hated seeing it in print because it usually meant I was fired. That's usually, whenever we made the news, it meant that we got fired. That was it. So, I mean, there was all kinds of shit going on over there after I got the boot. I don't think it's news to anybody that Jimmy and Opie did not get along that swimmingly after I was out. I was always a nice kind of bridge between the two, I think you'd call it. And they had, I think they hung out and communicated off the air more than I did with probably either of them. Maybe not Jim. Opie, I never hung out with Opie. Just never hung out with him. After a while, we, kind of our different lives. And that was that. So when it was Opie and Jimmy, without me there, things got a little crazy. And there were a couple of on-air fights. Like I swear, I was with Opie for 20 years. And it took a long time before we actually had an argument. I think it was 95, let me see. 96, 97, 98, 99, 2000. Probably 5 years. I would think 5 years before we had our first, like, burnt argument. And then, we just kept going along. And then there was other ones at XM. And then at Sirius, it really started getting a little grating on each of us, My lifestyle and his were not really conducive, I guess you'd say. He had been up for hours before coming to the show because he had woken up early, I was up for hours before the show because I hadn't been asleep yet. So it was an odd dynamic. We weren't really on the same wavelength. He took things pretty personally, as did I, over the course of the years. So, it just shit happens. So with him and Jimmy, it was like pretty much instantly there was a problem. There was problems. And that was glaring. People saw it. So they decide to give Jimmy and Sam a morning show and put Opie off into afternoons. How did that happen, by the way? Was that just them deciding, hey, this is what we're going to do now? Right? I think so. So it was that, and that caused more resentment and shit. And Opie was, I guess, and I don't know, but this is just my, like I said, I've known him for a long fucking time. Known all the players involved for a long time. And I know the business end of this whole thing. So I know how management reacts and everything. So Opie was trying to rebuild a show with himself. And then he had a couple of the guys that he knew come on the show and stuff, comics and whatnot. But who do you have on there? Sherrod,
Vic Henley, and then Carl,
and
the chef,
the chef guy. So he was, building a show, and then I guess he had a problem with Roland. I read something about video in a bathroom. I recall every time someone went in the bathroom, there was a chance that you're going to have your picture taken. Someone was going to kick your ass so you fucked the urinal. I mean, it was like, yeah, there was always something going on. But I don't know. It seemed like tensions were really high over there, really high. So when that happened, Roland apparently went to HR and filed some type of grievance. And with all the other heat that was going on over there, Sirius, again, says, yeah, fuck this. Get rid of him. So that was that. Over 4th of July vacation. They love to boot you 4th of July. So I'm thinking, like, who's left over there? Erock. It's fucking Erock. Erock is like a cockroach, just surviving. I love it. Erock was at my 4th of July party. He stopped by, hung out a little bit. We had some chit-chats. It was nice. Good to see him. And then Dr. Steve, I think, is the longest-running show on the channel. Or still that's still on the channel. Who else is over there? Ron Bennington is still over there. Of course, Jimmy and Sam are doing their thing. But the actual Opie and Anthony thing, that was it. Once Opie went, Erock just kind of stands there going, what happened? What happened? But it's done. It's done. It's gone. And there was nothing we could do about it. He's gone. What can I tell you? He's gone. I don't know what his plans are. If he wants to say goodbye to the fans or fucking voice his side of anything, of course he's got a seat here, And then we'll see what happens. But as far as right now, I don't know. I texted him a few times, and it was pretty much, hey, enjoy your vacation. Enjoy that extended vacay. Someone didn't have to get up for work this morning. Greg Opie Hughes. That's right. So we'll see what the fuck happens there.
I think he's doing a show live from Carl's restaurant tomorrow.
Is that real?
He keeps saying it. There's a sign out front saying welcome.
The sign looked a little sad. I got to be honest. The sign looked a little sad. Do you got it? Let me see this thing.
I got to find it 1 sec.
Let me see this thing. What the fuck? What the fuck? He's having a sign out the Satriani's fucking pork door, you fucking cocksucker. Yeah. Oh, okay. There it is. Look. Welcome, Opie from radio. What is he doing? Come on. That's a joke. And this is where?
Yeah, Carl's right. I don't know. Is it Marie's or something? I kept thinking I saw that.
But it's
name.
in Manhattan?
Jersey, I think he's from.
Jersey?
I'm just guessing. Delhi in New Jersey.
We'll hide the gun behind the toilet. Opie can go in. It's one of those old toilets with the pull chain. Just come out shooting, kid. You're going to be fine. Wow, okay. Well, there you go. We'll figure out where it is, and we'll give it a plug. So if you want to go tomorrow and see what's going on, it's not going to be broadcast anywhere.
Facebook Live.
Facebook Live.
So,
yeah. See, of course. All right. There it is. All right, it's at Marie's Italian Specialties. Is there an address? Oh, jeez. There you go. Shunpike Road in Chatham. Chatham? Hey, Chatham up. New Jersey. Marie's Italian Specialties. What was that logo up there? It looks like Guy Fieri, but is that supposed to be him? Oh, it is Guy. Guy ate here.
Well, he was a guy. Carl was.
Right.
Didn't he come in with Guy in the beginning and then?
Yes.
He caught on from that.
Remember when Guy squirted vodka into Sam's mouth, much to Sam's chagrin? My God, was that fucking hilarious. What's wrong with him? He's extreme. Yeah, I cook. Woo! We get it. You're extreme. All right, so yeah, I don't know. I don't have any. I'll talk to Mike over here. Mike, what's up?
Hey, what's up, Anthony?
Hey.
How was your vacation?
Stunning. Just a great time hanging out at the pool with my cat.
I was just wondering, will Compound Media turn into the Opie and Anthony show, or you're not 100% sure?
Oh, I thought I really explained that pretty well, but I got to tell you, Mike, no, there are no plans right now. I have not heard anything of any plans for Opie to come here or anything, but the door's open for him to come in and talk.
Yeah.
See what
That's
happens.
all. I'm just waiting to see if Opie and you are going to talk on your show.
Yeah,
Like,
that'd
I
be
wanna hear
cool,
his side
if he could
of
find
what
some
really
time.
happened.
He comes in, we sit and chit-chat. I think that'd be great.
How about, are you going to, what do you think about Roland, copping him out? Do you think he's a piece of shit for doing that?
Everyone has their issues. What am I going to say? Roland, apparently, I haven't been there in 3 years, so I don't know what transpired between Opie and Roland
But,
in that
what
time.
did you think of working with Roland?
with Roland. I always liked Roland. I never had a problem with Roland, but I didn't really interact with Roland all that much. See, Opie would interact with the people more than I would over there. My goal was to leave cartoon character smoke off of my fucking feet when I left that place. Just get in, do the show, get the fuck out. I didn't talk to anyone. I'd say hi to Ronnie B or Fez when he was there in the hallway. Maybe a little chit chat. Club Soda Kenny, how you doing? But like, I never went to the back office and sat in there and talked with Erock or Roland or any of the other people. I never, unless I was called to the boss's office, never even walked down that end of the building where the management had their offices. But Opie was always chit-chatting with them. So, you know, that opens up a whole nother thing. Now you have a relationship with people aside from just how you doing. And I wasn't really, I didn't like that.
At XM before Sirius, when you were doing your show in New York at your own studio.
Yeah, what about that?
Like chatting back then, or did you just like run and run like the Roadrunner?
No, we would talk back then too. Yeah, we would talk back then. Sirius really was where the pressure, they called it a merger, the merger between XM and Sirius. XM got swallowed up by Sirius, and they wanted no part of how XM used to run with them running Sirius. So it became very just like fucking corporate radio. I saw no difference working at Sirius than I did working at Infinity Broadcasting or Viacom when they were bought, CBS Radio. All those companies were the same fucking lumps of shit management and all the crap that they'd rain down on talent. And that's pretty much what Sirius was.
Like when I bought XM, maybe like when you first guys came in, I was listening to the other stations, and I thought they were really cool because they didn't have any fucking DJs, you know, talking, and it was just fine. And if they have like one show with one DJ for an hour, I mean, that's fine, you know. But they constantly talk over the music, and they play the same shitty songs that I can listen to on the fucking radio.
That's old school radio. Mike, thank you so much. Yeah, that's something they told us with XM. When we first got to XM, they're like, you are going to love it here. It's whatever they did in radio, we are not going to do. We're throwing away the playbook. It's going to be fantastic. The music selections, everything, the talk radio is going to be so much different than radio. And it was. XM was actually pretty cool. And the people they hired were talented people from the radio business. That's who ran XM. People with a vision further than just FM radio. Well, when Sirius got involved, that went away, and they hired bean counters and consultants and all the shit that fucked radio up over the years. They hired them and fired all the radio people. I mean, it might have been a naive thought that you could broadcast and make it this new thing, but they got swallowed up, and it became shitty corporate radio again. And they that was it. Bye-bye. And the last bastion of the O&A show took a hike last week. So that's about that. Let's talk with Whitney, a guy, apparently. What's up?
Hey, what's up, man?
How you doing?
Hey, man, love you. Look, I just wanted to call and tell you that I think Owen Benjamin is freaking amazing, dude. You guys, the guy is awesome. You guys need to give him a show on your channel. I'm telling you, he's awesome.
Owen was great, man. Owen and myself, we did a vacation show. We taped it last week or a couple weeks ago, and it was fucking awesome. It was fucking great.
Yeah, I mean,
he's a lot of fun.
If you can't get him, try to get Jordan Peterson on too.
Oh,
I
look
mean,
at
he
you.
talks about Jordan all the time, and that
Who's
guy's
this? Who's this?
crazy
Roland?
genius.
Is he booking my show? Yeah, no, I agree 100% there. Owen was great, man. He's a lot of fun, and he's not scared.
All right.
All right, man.
Thanks a lot.
Later. Boink, a pertinent question from Cassius. What's up?
Hey, Anthony. How are you?
Pretty good.
Before I get to the question, I thought it was really hilarious. A few months ago, you could see the writing on the wall for Opie when they took his office away from him and told him, just go do show prep in the hallway.
In the hallway. I saw that picture.
The newspapers
I saw that, the newspapers and the single chair, and it was by a ledge, by a window, and it just really was not the best thing for Opie. No.
You could tell that, yeah, he was hanging on by one thread there.
Yeah, that's again, corporate fucking radio. It's not the most fun place you could work if you're in broadcasting. That's for sure.
Yeah. Well, that brings me to the big looming question: is do you want him to do a show with you now that you guys could have like the most purest form of the O&A show without any program directors above you, and do it there on your platform?
Yeah, I've been asked that a lot, especially this past week. And we, like I said, we haven't even spoken in person in 3 years. We had our issues for quite a while before that. And then you got to figure whether you can just jump back into the Opie and Anthony show again. I think that's impossible. That's it's done. It's over. It's been done. Now, whether he would be able to work here in some capacity doing his show, and then we actually do a show once a week maybe or something like that. Like, this is all stuff people have talked about over the course of the past couple of years even. So I don't know. Again, it would have to be discussed. But do I think myself and Opie could sit here and do the O&A show again? I can't see that happening. We're different people.
It seemed like you guys had such a good rapport on the handful of phone calls you've had. Since you've made up.
Oh, I'm not saying we probably couldn't do a very entertaining show, but there might be people that would go like, "Oh, this isn't the O&A show," and yeah, it wouldn't be. So, it's kind of hard to try to figure out what it would be. Quite frankly, I don't even know what that would be. Two guys that have known each other that long sitting and bullshitting, or would we have wacky bits, or would we be a guest-based show? Like, I couldn't tell you right now what that might even look like, but interesting prospect. Again, because I have the ability to do whatever the fuck I want here, I'm open to anything. I'm open to anything.
Right. It would be the first time the O&A show would ever be totally under your control and
and completely. Well, that would be that right there is a pretty interesting and tempting proposition, that it would be the O&A show without any restrictions on it with bosses, or we could literally talk about or say anything we wanted, which is pretty awesome.
It just seems like such a tantalizing possibility.
It is,
reconstituted.
Look, I'm a human being and I'm a businessman, so it's kind of interesting to ponder. We'll see.
All right, thanks, man. Thanks for your time. Good talking to you.
Thank you, sir. Thank you. Another thing, and then I actually, hold on. I know Kevin's out there. Yeah, I know. Yeah, right. Yeah. Come on in, man. Come on in. I love fucking hanging out with Kevin. Kevin, take a seat there. I know, right? Oh, welcome. Yeah.
No, I don't need.
Turn the stool over and have a seat.
No, because I have to. I might have to go get my kids. So.
Oh, really?
I'm waiting to hear about. But I wanted to hear. I want to hang out personally just to hear what you guys say about the Opie thing, because
it's pretty odd, right?
Yeah, because it's like Opie. I mean, I only met you guys like I never did your show before, so
which is so fucking weird.
I know, but I was always like, I'm gonna get. I know, but I always want to get like. I was always like TV and like trying to get on Letterman and all that stuff, and trying to get a sitcom. And then like once I got to a certain age, I'm like, I guess I'm ready for radio. I guess no one will fuck me anymore. It's show business and show business terms. So, no, but really, what it did was like I had to do these. I had to plug some gigs, and it was like so I just called. I actually asked Voss to talk to Norton. I knew Norton, but I knew Voss a little bit better. So then I just started, and then I started doing it, and I love doing it because especially that you could just say fuck and cunt and nobody stopped you, you know?
Right, yeah.
And then I found it, like, I don't know if I said it on this show before, but then I started trashing people, you know, trash my brother, trash a lot of, like, Hollywood or L.A. comics that, you know, I lived out there for 3 years, so I would trash them. And, you know, people say, like, it was not good to trash people, but it was almost like, you know, you commit a murder, you think you can't commit murder, and then you do it. You're like, it felt so good. You know, you're like,
people seem to like it.
I can't stop killing people. So it was just, it was like a win-win. The fans liked it, I liked it, and then it just became this thing. But I'll just say this about Opie. Opie is a fucking great host. You know what I mean? Like, he didn't know me. You know what I mean? And whenever I went there, people would, like, sometimes I went over there, people would say, you know, him and Jim they're not getting along, but it never showed to me. That's
well, that was a thing that we were able to do over the course of the years, which people thought was the most amazing thing we ever pulled off, was the fact that we were able to turn those fucking mics on and make it seem like we were pals.
Yeah, it was, I mean, because even people, like, one week I went in there and somebody said they had a fight. It was last summer. They had a fight. Right before that, I think it was over the D.L. Hughley thing, not to name names, but
yes.
There was a D.L. Hughley situation. And I brought my old partner, Lenny.
Hi, Lenny.
I feel like it's a fake name. Remember this Lenny character? But actually, I begged Lenny to come with me because I thought it would be, like, awkward.
Yeah.
But then when we went there, like, Lenny brought it up. He goes, Kevin made me go because you guys have been fighting this week. And Opie goes, we haven't been getting along, him and Norton, you know.
Did Norton say anything?
But it was still, it never felt, maybe because I was new to it, but it never felt tense to me. And I just thought that's just a tribute to Opie because he just kind of makes it seem, keeps it kind of loose, you know.
There is a certain element of professional that you need to adhere to when you're on a radio show. And no matter how you feel about the other person in the room, when the mics go on, you got to do a fucking show. If the show is putting that out there, then that's fine. If you want to argue with somebody on the air, but if you plan on doing something else, you're going to have to kind of suck it up. And
but it didn't seem to hurt. The comedy still seemed to work. You know, I mean, it wasn't like it was we were talking about like serious shit, but I just thought he was always really good at it. So, and then even with him getting fired, to me, it like helps his street cred, you know, because they always say like Opie's, you know, it's like, but he's almost like back to being a gangster. Where it's like, I got fucking fired. You know what I mean?
Getting fired is.
I mean, it makes you look cool in the radio business.
It definitely did us well getting fired so many times over the years. We always were able to step it up to the next level when we got fired. And then that stopped.
Did you guys make more money when you got fired?
Every time, yeah. Except for
that's hilarious.
Except for
what other job where you get fired and then like the next job they're like, we got to pay you more.
We're gonna give you more money.
You guys deserve more. That's why you.
When we got fired in Boston. And
I didn't know you got fired there.
Yeah, we got fired. We said the Mayor Menino was dead on April Fool's Day. Yeah, we were like, oh, Mayor Menino was in a horrible.
I thought they grabbed you from New York because they.
Well, they did after we got fired. They grabbed us in New York
immediately.
Yeah,
they were ready to just. You guys were ready to move on.
We had already had a meeting with New York before we got fired.
But that wasn't a plan to get fired.
Not on my part. Opie might have, thought of something, but I don't know. Plan. So when we got fired, it's like, this was my first radio job ever in Boston from doing construction. So I was just like, oh, great.
Why?
Great, I'm going back.
You don't know how show business works.
I don't know how that worked. So I just thought, oh, good, I'll pick up my tools that I threw out on 95 and just go back to work again.
Probably still there.
Probably rusting there, yeah. And then it wasn't, though. We get a job back in New York. Now I'm back home.
Yeah.
For 10 times the money I was making.
Really?
It's crazy.
Oh, my God.
It was fucking insane.
Wow.
And I was like, oh, I see how this works.
It was in the afternoon?
Yeah, yeah.
That's even better. You don't have to get up early.
You have to get up early. You could stay up late.
Oh my God.
Who can't make it to work? That's why I picked 4 o'clock to do my show.
Yeah.
Can't get up and do
like,
something
I
by 4 p.m.
I overslept.
I overslept? What are you, in a coma?
That's what people say to me. Like sometimes I'll be like late when I do my podcast or whatever. They go like, "You're late." I go, "Yeah, but I'm never late at night." Isn't that a coincidence?
Right,
Like I'm never late for a night gig because
I could make anything.
6 o'clock. I'm gonna make it. Yeah.
Yeah, it's easier that way. The other thing that was happening that I wanted to
Hey, just want to thank everyone for their support. It's greatly appreciated. There was one thing I wasn't able to do on my final show at SiriusXM, so here you go.